Thanks a lot, you idiot. Thanks a lot, Rachel. Thanks a lot. Thanks to you, my charger's not charging on my iPad because it's got used to your iPad instead of mine. It's not charging my iPad and it's all your fault. I hope you're happy because I've told Mom. Thanks a lot, you idiot.
I'm talking anti-gravity, project. I respect staying true to the stain. Got the evil address and the link Miss Will. Got the dark matter talking going up. I can tell, hey, I can tell. This is starting second fresh. Shout out Hexa Vision and on the Hexa, yes. I confess, Hexagons don't stress. Cause as a community, one. So tell me, are you in? Or tell me, are you out? Do you want to win? Or do you chase the cloud? What is this really about? The treasury and lottery. If you like dark tokens, you can get a part of it. So how does it work? Let me explain. First you buy the dark token, now you're in the game. Then you make the dark and get a fuel cell. That's an NFT, one that earns yield. As long as you have it, it feels like magic. But if you can provide the NFT, that's the NFT. So most think crypto was a game. Are you here for the fame or here to make a name? See the Mexicans reign, we create our own lane. I thought I told you, I knew financial gain. AG Project.io, Project.io. If you know what I know, you know what I know. That's how it go. Something like to support the team, dream. Public service announcement. T.me /anti-gravity saga. It's the Telegram. Tap in. It's for y'all. I'm talking anti-gravity, project. I respect staying true to the same. Got the evil address and the link Miss Will. Got the dark matter talking going up. I can tell.
Hey kids, this is Pulse Ray Vision coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement. And I'm wearing the bear hat again. Why am I wearing the bear hat again? Not because we're paying homage to the bear and respecting the bear that has crippled and crushed us, chewed our legs out from under us, but because I believe we will soon be able to say goodbye to the bear. Bye-bye, bear. I see the pumpage on Hex is extremely bullish. I think that Richard Hart just wrote this in Sami's comments on YouTube, which he didn't read. He didn't read my name. He didn't read Hey Space Cult. He didn't read anything of mine. It was almost as if he was specifically not mentioning my name or reading my comments. No, I mean, he didn't read everybody's, but at the same time, he read most of them. Anywho, I think that Richard Hart has about a few billion more reasons to pay attention to Ethereum than we do, right? The guy's got a lot of ETH. And so if anyone is looking for any advantage or any sign or any inside information or indicator that Ethereum is on its way up, I would say it's him. And I don't think he would be firing those little boom shots at the bottom of the market and pumping Hex and Pulse Chain and waking people up unless he thought it was time to wake us up. So that's good news. In my opinion, that's good news, and that's good news that we have probably hit the bottom of the bear. Anyway, shout out Steve Stash in the house. Good news coming from him today. I'm not going to blow his stash up or jinx him, but good to see you, my friend, Steve Stash. In fact, I should probably talk to you pretty soon based on some of this new stuff we got going on the website, stuff that's near and dear to my heart and that I'm very proud of. Some new UI, some new tokens, some new functions. It's just pretty damn good. There's some interesting stuff going on right now. A lot of supply being soaked up of the brand new tokens, and even maybe some supply being soaked up where you might not be paying attention, kids. That being said, welcome everyone. The link to join, I'm going to copy that right here. The link to join is here in comments. It's in our Telegram. It's also, I guess I can put it on X. Throw this up here. Yeah. I'll just put it in comments right here. Boom, boom, post. So as well, that's a great picture of me right there. Let me show you guys. I'll share my screen. Go back here in the corner. Put baby in the corner. And oh, Jiminy Christmas! I just killed it. Share screen. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Stream, baby, stream. There's a StreamYard link right there. Who are all these DGen buttholes dumping? That is a great question. My guess, actually, what is probably pushing the price from $1 down to like 80 cents right now is the minting. There are thousands of tokens minted already in Journey 6. People are getting their tokens in and ready to go, wanting to play for the jackpot right there. We got Mr. Hex T in the house. What's up, Mr. TT?
Good morning, Chef Boyardee. You
Guys,
never stop cooking, huh?
Yeah, a couple more tokens, a couple more chips, collector's items, a couple more ways to celebrate the diamond-handed badasses that no one else in crypto comes close to. No one else in Pulse Chain. I wish I could say that there's the Hex diamond hand people. That's it. No, there's Hex and yep, that's it. There's a couple of like PulseX diamond hands, but not really, honestly. Nobody is staking stuff and locking it for months or years like we are here, besides the Hexicans. Speaking of Hexicans, What's up, Corey Investor? Hey, Max, here for a little alpha before I clock out. Oh, it's minting time. It's always minting time, baby. It is always minting time. Ever since we upgraded the game and the book, it's always minting time. This is going by so quick. The rounds are only 11 days. You can always mint for the next round. There's no minting window like we had in the old game. And there's been some big jackpots coming out, And as HT said, there's new tokens, there's new buttons, there's some UI stuff that I'm very, very proud of. So, yeah, I can't wait. And I think there's a whale that might be surfacing pretty soon in our ecosystem, and that could change the game. So if you don't already have your stuff minted and staked and sacrificed, you might regret it. That's all I'm saying. And if you don't have a couple darker in your pot, if you're not DCAing and accumulating darker right now, you also might be kicking yourself in the near future. That's all.
Well, just an update. We've got 10.23 darker in the Make It Rain kitty, and I'm getting ready to claim about $5 of passive income to buy some darker, which I believe is on discount at 80.5 cents.
Yeah, it's a stable coin, right? It's our dollar stable coin. It's been pegged at $1 for a few days here for about a week. So I've been telling everyone, hey, we pegged before at $1 way before PDI did, and way before Hex did. So eat your hearts out. And we'll have some fun when we talk about the Curb Stomp token, because the Curb Stomp token was launched at 2 or 3 in the morning yesterday, and it's 10x basically since then. Maybe 11x, and it's like it's got no liquidity, it's got no supply, it's just there. I just mentioned it, and I really haven't done much with it at all, but I don't know. It's just amazing what a couple nibble bots can do to things with insanely small supply and insanely small liquidity.
Well, I've seen the Curb Stomp, and I get that. I understand that reference. And there's also Jack as well, like Boot Jack, or
It's
tell
Jackpot.
me how Jack. Oh, Jackpot.
Jackpot. There are 222,222,222, or maybe it's just 222 million jackpot tokens, and they're all controlled by the same address, like 99% is controlled. There's only $1,000 liquidity ish paired between, well, it's probably more now because it's Jack has also gone up 10x. Or maybe not 10x. No, it's like 8x. It's gone up 8x.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
CryptoCat
8x.
says it's all twos. It did at 8x in a couple days when I told everyone, do not buy this token. Don't put any money into it. You'll lose all of your money. Well, it's a good rule of thumb to assume you're going to lose all your money you put into crypto all the time. Right? That's if you assume that you're going to lose all your money, you won't be disappointed here. You will lose all your money in crypto. But even so, it's like I'm making, a mentally ill founder made these tokens in the middle of the night with no sleep.
But can I say something?
Go.
For me, how I make my money matters to a point. There's definitely some projects from some founders across many multiple pulse chains that I have been invited into the bundle groups. I've been invited to run the plays, and I have said no all but one time, and I didn't feel good about running the play and knowing that I'm yoinking someone else's hard-to-earn cash. So I decided that there's ways to make money, and then there's ways not to make money. But also, since I'm really good at losing money, it also matters how you lose your money. And if I lose my money on a rug pull, shame on me. But if I lose my money on the greatest project on Pulse Chain, that would be Darker Matter with agproject.io. And I have a lot of fun, and someone else in the community that I respect makes gains off of my poor degen habits. I still feel good about losing money as long as I lose money the right way.
I appreciate that, and I agree. There is a right way and a wrong way to lose money in crypto, and it does kind of matter what you believe in. Because I mean, at this point, so many of us believe in Hex that we have written it down to zero already. We've already proven that we are willing to write this down to zero. Now, hindsight's different. We probably would have taken a little more profit before we wrote it down to zero. But I think we're all locked in pretty much.
Yeah, but I need you to take this compliment. But I'm glad that your tokenomics or the tokenomics on Darker Matter, we don't necessarily have that ESS penalty, and I think that's very benevolent. I know Richard Hart cooked that up to try to see if people could honor their commitments. And of course, degens do what degens do. They always game the system and hold liquid while you're staking 5555. And I get that. And I know that the Hex community, the OG community, has taken a ration of shit for following directions and round tripping their bags. But I appreciate the fact that at any time, someone who's invested hard-earned capital in the project, if in fact life happens and bills need to get paid or whatnot, or you really just need a steak dinner, that you have access to your capital without major penalties.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think that's it. And I mean, we're doing everything against the grain here. We're staking, we're minting, and we're staking. That people, no one's doing that right now. The Hexicans aren't staking right now. They all stake at like 40 and 50 cent hex. That's what the most staking would buy.
Understood. Yeah.
The liquidity, I had a really good conversation with Hexy on Spaces today. And she was explaining to me how, like, if someone looks at a project and it doesn't have liquidity, they don't believe that it will have liquidity when they want to exit or when they want to take profit. And I try to explain to her that I understand the sentiment. And as a human being, we believe that what we see is going to continue. But that's not true at all. In fact, it's the opposite. If you would have bought Hex when it had like $500 million of liquidity or whatever it had, that would have been the worst time ever to buy it. And if you look at, it still has a ton of liquidity thanks to Richard Hart or the OA, I'm pretty sure. But it just because something has liquidity does not mean it's going to have liquidity when you want to leave.
Yeah,
So there's a
absolutely.
lot of places that the only place I could think, and I brought up this example right here, Dr. Doge, where they have the forever locked liquidity. They are believe so uh, strongly that they're going to lock this liquidity and prove that it can't be unlocked, that they lost thousands and thousands of dollars by locking their liquidity with Dark version 1. Like they were so convinced, and I felt really bad, reached out to them, and we worked out a deal to where I could we could, as a community, could absorb some of that pain when people dumped the original Dark token for Dr. Doge, to where that people weren't dumping Dr. Doge. But unless I told her, I said, unless a project has forever locked liquidity where you have the audited code proving that no one can get that liquidity out, there's no way for you to believe that that liquidity is going to be there in the future when you want it. You know, however, if you go to OTC, you can sell any token you want for any price you want for any amount you want, if there's someone on the other end of that OTC deal that believes in it, and it helps to give a discount. But we have Darker sitting there for $1.20 that's been there for I think a month. It might still be there, might have expired, I don't know. But again, that's another thing that's against the grain, is like, forget liquidity. Everything,
Mhm.
liquidity. Shut your mouth. When Richard Hart is right when he says the best time to buy Bitcoin is when there was no liquidity. It was. And right now, the best time to buy some of these tokens might be when there's no liquidity at all. I think we put $50 of liquidity into Curb Stomp, and now it's got $150 of liquidity simply because it's got such crazy scarce supply that anyone that buys $5 worth just sends it to the moon. And yeah, people can sell it and crash it, but with thin liquidity, you can actually just push the price back up with $5, $10 again, right? So as many dumpers as come in and try to like take advantage of you or cheat on you,
Mhm.
they have no power here. They have no say. They have no community. They're just drifting through, and God bless them while they're here. They might pick up something. But for those people that are in this group, I think that we're going to set a culture that shows people, if you believe in something and support each other, you can win here. The good guys can win in Darker Matter. The good guys can win in Dr. Doge. I think the good guys can win in Gelato. There's a lot of altruism that's been shown in Gelato. And I think the good guys can win in Wick, because those guys are insane. They're obsessively insane about AI and everything going on right now. And actually, Nuts, Red Squirrel Nuts, he doesn't look like he's dumping or cheating on anybody anytime soon. He just keeps building cool tool after cool tool and gifting it to the community. So I think there's an army of us that are actually want to see the good guy win for a change, instead of the Jeets beat the Jeets. That there's been nothing to do but cheat for the last 5 years. So that's why I just want to say that. It's like we do everything opposite here, and if people show up and they're like, this is garbage, I wouldn't do this, it's like, good. We don't want you to buy. If you don't want to buy this, we don't want you to buy it. Keep moving. Go find something with thick liquidity and a good story, and some founders, some KOLs that have rugged people 18 times before. Buy their stuff. Buy into their dump. I wish people wouldn't get wrecked, but at the same time, there's people are so easily manipulated, and they go against their best self-interest so many times that at some point it's kind of like an addict. You've got to let the addicts hit rock bottom. You got to let some people lose their rent money a couple times before the pain is strong enough for them to get better or make better choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, I know this is a little bit sarcastic, but it does matter how you how you make money in blockchain, and it doesn't matter how you lose. Everything at the end of the day, you got to make an account for, did you really support where you should have, or did you just try to get greedy, make a quick buck?
Yeah, and Dr. Doge is a great example. Darker is a great example of people that actually believe in what they say and stick by their guns and do what they say. I mean, the fact that Richard Hart is not blasting Dr. Doge to the moon right now is crazy. The fact that you get all these tokens for helping medical research and nobody knows about it. It's like one of those best kept secrets. Unless you're in one of these communities and they're talking about it. So yeah, why wouldn't you try to help solve Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and cancer, and then get this little token that is, there's been a bunch of days where their liquidity is higher, their locked liquidity is higher than their market cap. That almost never happens in crypto. I mean, talk about conviction and putting your money where your mouth is. Yeah, the Dr. Doge homies are true blue, Red Squirrel's true blue. I wish they weren't introverts. I wish someone from the team would jump on stream and talk about it besides me. But yeah, and actually Chris from Gelato, he just did one on Dr. Doge. So I can't wait to watch that little blip on there. That's very exciting.
Well, you probably already know this, but for the viewing audience and the replay gang, English is the core dev group and the core Dr. Doge group. English is not their first language, so I try to talk them up. And every time I see them, and I'm up on stage in one of our many zany degen pulse chain spaces, I always try to shout them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you on Execute and Tangent Spaces, trying to calm down John Smith.
Yes,
and hand him sound out his vowels, and quit saying Gina Gat 4 trillion times. Jesus Louise, if I hear him say Gina Gat one more damn time, I don't even think Gina Gat's a real person. I don't think anything he says is real. I know it's real to him. I'm just saying, like, jeez Louise. Yeah. And you were asking him about Larry Flint. I was laughing so hard in the carpet band today. So anyways, yeah, that's cool. Let's jump into, did you get a chance to mess around with the new front end or see the little Easter eggs, the little Christmas presents we put under mission control yet?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and I've already claimed I've claimed 3. Now it says mints, so tell me when I clean that, I'm minting it into existence. It's in my wallet, but now that supply is off the market.
Yeah,
so
none of them
what
existed.
type of token standard is it? Can you tell me the deets on if it's Ethereum ERC or is it a PRC, and what standard?
It's a PRC20 token.
Okay.
And each one of these have their own contract address. Each one of them is a specific coin and a specific token. And I think there are only 55 available right now. And they'll only come available as people stay staked going forward. So, so this address, the streaming address, has held a staked token since July 3rd, 2026. So we are at a 45-day streak. So this is based on AA. This is based on Recovery and Alcoholics Anonymous and Codependence Anonymous. All the anonymouses. This is based on the addiction recovery world. And basically, this is how many days of a degen you've been sober in recovery from being a degen and cheating everything that came into your hands. So you have a 7-day chip, you have a 14-day chip, a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, 120, 270, and then a 1-year chip. And we'll probably create some more later as they go on. But this is kind of what I was talking to or mentioning to Steve Stash. Steve Stash is an actual coin maker.
Yes.
He's an artisanal, mad scientist, brilliant. He makes some beautiful beautiful coins. He made these dark matter coins that we were giving out last year at different meetups, the silver ones and the copper ones. I think we had a limited supply of silver. This is before silver went insane. So I don't know if we'll see silver coins again. But we might actually. So I like to get with him. And do you remember the Socks NFT back in the day on
I do
Ethereum?
not. That's before my time on blockchain.
Well, they had these socks, which were NFTs. And every sock NFT was worth an actual pair of physical socks that you could wear.
Mm-hmm.
And these got so rare during the NFT mania that some of these socks were worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. But once you burnt your NFT, they would literally mail you these socks, and these socks became this crazy collector's item. And so we might do something with these chips where we have a physical chip that you can carry it around in real life that has some of these days on them, like the 30-day chip, the 14-day chip, a 1-year chip. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I think we'll have our own version of the Serenity Prayer or logo on it. You know, to thine own self be true, or we'll come up with a Degen Serenity Prayer and maybe put it on there. And I think that would be really cool to have. If you have this actual token, you can claim it, and then we would mail you an actual token or give you one at one of the meetups, and you could actually hold it, and it's a badge of honor. It's like saying, hey, I'm so committed. I believe in something so strongly. Not only do I believe in something, but I believe in myself and the value of my future self so much that I was able to hang on to this for this staked NFT for X number of days, and I've been earning, being paid for staking a bunch of those days, after 180. So yeah, these chips, these are Space Cult chips, and we haven't come up with any designs for them yet or anything like that. But the idea came to me, and I coded it last night. And then I also coded the Curb Stomp token because I was thinking to myself, how do I do this curve? I was going to wait until Jackpot was a penny before we launched anything else. And I had this vision come to me of electric green light. And it showed me like how all this would work together and which ones to pair with which and which order to do them. It was quite a moment. And I grabbed my phone and I was like texting it to myself as fast as I could so I didn't lose the idea. And then I got up in the middle of the night and I coded it because it was just like, it just was the right thing at the right time. And I realized, Curb Stomp is such a cool thing when you get to see a Curb Stomp on a screen, on a chart, like Nuts and Wick and what was the other one? It was just straight up, just sideways, straight up, and then goes on. I mean, Hex had a beautiful curb stomp back in the day. I don't even remember what price it was, but it did it. It went straight up, and then it like everyone was waiting for this, the candle, the wick to come crash back down. It never ever, even I think to this day, it hasn't gone back down to that original price. And those curb stomps show such force and belief and strength that I wanted to commemorate that and show people that and this is the crazy thing, is there's more scarcity in the darker matter token than there is in Jackpot and Curb Stomp. People just don't realize it yet because Curb Stomp puts money in the EDI treasury. It has a 3.69% tax, buy and sell tax that collects EDI and sends it to this EDI payout. And Jackpot has a 2.2% tax that it sends in its own token to the Darker Buy Bot address. So now the Darker Buy Bot has some a bag of Jackpot as well. So those are the two functions that they serve. And then these chips serve as, a celebration and a community token, a collector's item, and a badge of honor. But Darker Matter does so many damn things that nobody knows, even you guys in the community and even myself. a day will go by and I go, holy shit, Darker does this, and I didn't realize that. People will point out stuff that Darker does. I'm like, holy shit, it does that too. And
Mhm.
maybe it's stuff that I forgot about or stuff that I didn't know. Go ahead.
No, I'm letting you know I'm still here.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's kind of it. It's like Darker has so many functions. It functions as a story. It functions as art. It functions as a lottery. It functions as what's a NFT, marshmallow test. It functions
Mhm.
as scarcity. It functions as just a really cool idea and vibe to pull a community together and have a narrative that we can all get behind, which is recovery. It's loving yourself enough to be better tomorrow than you are today, and
Absolutely. Be the
having
best version of yourself possible.
and having the patience to go through that process, because it takes forever and it's hard and it sucks. You know what I mean? Like growth
Yep.
and change are hard, and they hardly ever feel good. I'll put it that
So
way.
you mentioned art, and I got a couple comments on that, but can we check the chat? We get to talking, and I hate the fact that sometimes the most important people, our audience in the chat, our space cult members, sometimes get the shaft.
Yeah, CryptoCat says, buy, you must. Do any of the new tokens play into the game? Yes. So the jackpot token, it has a fixed supply. It's never going to be minted again, and it's just to show the power of scarcity and the fact that if people just buy it and never sell, even if they nibble 10 or 20 cents at a time, the chart it melts everyone's face. And eventually over time, I think that the liquidity is going to show, like it'll appear when the time is right. Like there'll be so much economic energy that comes into Pulse Chain during a bull run that stuff that is $1,000 liquidity now becomes $100,000 of liquidity just by the price of stuff going up, not by anyone adding $100,000 of liquidity, but literally by just the economic energy flowing into Ethereum and the altcoins. So there's that idea, but the way you can only mint more of the curb stomp token by having an address with a matured 180-day stake in it. So I think that's somewhere around 50 or 60 addresses, 55 addresses, 60 addresses right now that have the 180-day stake in it, that if it matures, they can mint one. That's it. So it's going to be an insanely tight supply. That's why it launched at $2.22. Let's see what it is right now. And it's very little buys. And it launched with $50 of liquidity. Now it has $150 on both of those pairs, I believe. So here's the Curb and Darker pair. And this one went from 222 to 39.16 because there's no supply. Look at all these cells right here from this bot. Those are nothing but cells, and it does not care. It gives 0 Fs because someone came in here and wanted, this is a bot itself. A bot bought $40 of it and pushed the price from $27 to $35. It's already been up to $50. It's insane. So because it's paper thin liquidity and because there's a demand and a real actual community behind it, that's where it gets its economic energy right there. In fact, let's look at the 15-minute chart and you can see, so this kind of has a little curb stomp action going on right here. And it doesn't matter how much the bots sell it down. We have our own bots nibbling at it 10, 20 cents at a time. And they just sit there and get it's crazy what a buy bot gets as an average price. It blew my mind when I started seeing how much I was buying Darker for, how much I was buying Jackpot for, how much I buy Curb for. Like the average price is so far below the spot price, it'll blow your mind because it's just It's just a little bot just nibbling, nibbling, nibbling. No one pays attention to it. No one notices it, and it just does. I don't know. It's amazing what you can do with Claude. I'll just say that. So yeah, this is the curb stomp token, which the logo of it's in our Telegram, which I think is pretty cool. But this curb stomp token is like there's 369 of them. How many of them are here? There's so it's got $200 of volume, almost $200 in liquidity on each pair. So the liquidity is 4x, and the price has 13x.
Did we get caught up on the chat?
I think so. We went down
Okay.
and talked there. There's a couple more. I don't see that on mine. Yeah, 3582 for that. Hope everyone is amazing tonight. Thanks for streaming. You bet. And thank you for doing a video on Dr. Doge. It's very, very cool. I saw Mehoff. I'm glad to hear it wasn't yours. And the partner to Jack. Let's go, Curb.
So you brought up art as
Yes.
part of what Darker does.
Mhm.
First of all, I want to thank you for featuring my Space Cult meme for round 3. Very
Yes.
honored. And then also, I don't know if it was your idea or Secret Squirrel's idea, but have you seen the token? What do you call token cover art? You call those what?
Metadata or
Anyway,
JPEG.
the token icon on Pink Miss Well is also
Oh,
on at least
the
on
logo. The logo.
the logo, the token logo, at least on SquirrelSwap.pro, SquirrelSwap.pro, app.SquirrelSwap.pro.
Swap.pro.
Yes. I am really honored that a piece of my art is part of the Pink Miss Well lore as well.
I thought it was the coolest Pink Miss Well image that we had, honestly. So when people have been asking me for it and I've been trying to put it out there, that's cool. The other thing is, thanks to Claude, we can get all of these tokens verified and put on chain. We can prove that we can't do anything crazy with it other than we can take the tax down. I don't think we can take it up. And we can, of course, anyone can add or remove liquidity, but we're the ones that hold most of it. Because if people want to put money into these coins, they usually buy them instead of create liquidity. But we've had a bunch of liquidity added to Jackpot. So this is something I wanted to show you guys. I'm very, very proud of. Maybe more proud of this than some of the tokenomics and badass stuff that's been made here. And that's the how to play button. So it goes on the left side. It goes home, how to play, mint, stake, get paid, which is the same as how to play. But this image right here, I'm so incredibly tickled pink that this is a full screen shot of Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia explaining our system and how to play. Like, this is how I felt explaining Darker Matter to everyone for the last 5 years. Is just this crazy man with
and at the end of the day, you've got your elevator pitch.
Yeah, and it's
mint, stake, win.
Paid.
Yeah.
Minters win.
Stakers win harder. Mm-hmm.
And sacrificers are mentally ill.
Yes. Yep. You know what? And I'm still 1.15 stakeholder in the EDI converter. I'm very proud of that fact. I thought I would get diluted faster, and it really hasn't. So my leap of faith, I have no regrets. I tell you what, I have no regrets sacrificing my 5 wins.
Yeah, there's a right way and a wrong way to lose money in crypto, right?
Yep, a right way and a wrong way.
Slowly getting a drip of dopamine every time you log into the site is a pretty good way to lose money.
Mm-hmm. It's a really great way.
I mean, eventually, I don't know how much you sacrificed or what the value is going to be in the future, but there might be a time when they match up.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. But but really at the core principle, that's not why I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I did it because the ability, like you said, to log in after a couple of days and see 10, 15. I've had as much as $30 waiting for me as I log into the site for the first time that day or that night. And it's like, you know what? That's real money sitting right there, and it's mine. I mean, uh,
And you don't
it
have
was,
to sell any of your favorite tokens to get
yes,
it, to use
yeah,
it. Nobody
exactly.
feels guilty
Right.
spending eDai.
Yeah.
It's the sexiest coin on Pulse Chain by far. Is eDai. It's the only coin that hasn't gone down 99% 3 times. Right? It's like
Mhm.
it's real money, like you said. It's
Yeah.
actual money.
Now, I see on circulating supply that weren't we in the 13 point something, and now we're at 14.3. Did something get released? That that's the dumper. Not I shouldn't say that. Never mind. Those are the people electing to take profit. Some of that is profit taking with the lotteries that we're getting about 1% back on, which is not much back in circulating supply. I guess
Mhm.
that might be a reason why that number rose 1 percentage point.
Yeah, definitely. That was people claiming, and
Yeah.
I had some people reach out to me and say, "Hey, I claimed, and now I actually have enough darker to keep
Mhm.
minting to like get in
Yes.
on the next
Yeah.
round and the next round." So
Mhm.
most of them are using it as house money, which is beautiful. That keeps the
Yes.
economic energy in there. And then when I launched this game, I believed I would be the only one sacrificing. I thought I was the only one that loved this token enough to not catch it out.
Yeah.
So I started sacrificing, and I fully expected to receive 100% of this eDai pool back as a consolation for sacrificing. And the whales, and not even whales, just other people have jumped in here insane. I'm going to bring Proof of No Work up here. So you're live as well, Proof of No Work. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, welcome.
You have
POW. PONW.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
I gotta fix my mic. Can you hear feedback right now?
No, on my end, you're
Yeah. Are
loud
you
and
hearing
clear.
echo from us?
No, it's on my end, but if you don't hear it, then it's fine.
Yeah, no, we can't hear it, but you might have like a window open or somewhere where it's feeding back in off one of the streams.
Oh, all good.
We do have a question here. So should we claim the chips? You know what? I say if you're a little guy, if you're let's see, what will we call you in the collective? We call you like an agent or a technician or an operator. If you're a little guy with just a little bag of them, I would claim the jackpot, and I would remint if I didn't have a lot at my disposal, or if I didn't have a lot of cash to buy some when it goes down.
I agree with
I
that.
think that's a good move.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard. If I get lucky, my next lottery winning, if not win, I'm gonna really have to think long and hard if I want to just hold and mint, or if I want to go ahead and sacrifice. That's gonna be my toughest choice. My next lottery winning.
I misread the question completely. I saw a claim and I was thinking jackpot. He's seeing the chips. Where are the chips located? The chips are located on the blockchain. There's no liquidity pair with them yet. In fact, all the chips will probably just be paired with Curb Stomp eventually. And that'll be like a hub that holds onto the 9 or 10 chips or whatever we end up with on Chipwise. So yeah, that they're on chain. We have not given them any art or any logos yet. They're just there as and I put all the contract addresses of all the chips in our Telegram, so you can actually pull them up in your wallet. It's just going to show up as the basic placeholder for your chips.
Yeah. Hey, Proof of No Work. You came on up. Don't let us old geezers hog up the space.
No
Give
problem,
us some
man.
alpha. Ask us some questions.
I think I actually fixed my mic problem. Am I still coming in clear?
Yeah, on my end, you are.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, great. No, man, I don't have much alpha for you. I mean, I guess actually I do a little bit. What I was coming on here to talk about the Curb token. I bought a lot of the Curb token that you provided for the liquidity initially.
Uh-huh.
and I used the darker pair, and then I provided a big pulse pair against the curb token.
The wrapped pulse pair.
Yeah, so just like PLS.
I was wondering where that came from because I'm like, I don't think I launched one of those.
Yeah. So that was me. I bought it pretty low and provided it right there. And I actually made it like the thickest pair on the liquidity there.
Nice.
I've been, through a lot of these super nano cap, micro cap launches where the liquidity is super thin like this and even thinner. And a lot of the times I see people when they launch them, they don't provide a PLS pair.
Yeah.
And when you provide the PLS pair and make it the thickest, that's what tends to attract all the attention, volume, and the number go up. So if you want to really get this, I think a tip for people, if you want to get attention and make the multiple go, make sure to provide a thick PLS pair, even if your objective is to get the volume to route through the other tokens, because it still will route through those tokens, but you'll gain the most attention, the most easy interest or easy access, because most people are just holding PLS, they're not holding the other tokens. So your other tokens will get volume too, but the PLS pair is what will drive the number go up and the attention, at least initially, from my experience.
Yeah, because we don't have a pair with Jackpot right now in PLS, as far as I know, unless someone's provided that and created that.
Yeah, I was just looking through it, and I was comparing those, and the Jackpot token is up really big too. It's up almost 10x here from the launch price, it looks like. But looking at the curb token, it outperformed it significantly, and I think that's a big reason why. Because that PLS token, was paired to it. And it's a smaller market cap launch too, so that helped.
Yeah, I'd have to sell something to get some pulse. I don't hold pulse as a Pulsican as pulse.
Yeah, I never do either, man.
I hold enough for gas, and then I'm like, give me PulseX, give me Hex, give me something that just is freaking on fire.
I have 1 billion PulseX, but no pulse.
Yeah,
I had to sell some pulse. I sold Fire Whale token, meme token, to provide the liquidity for this.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
it's the same thing. I don't have it. I had 30,000 pulse or whatever. Like never holding pulse.
Yeah, that's the thing. But then again, like you said, it's the thickest. It's connected to all the other stuff.
Yeah. So proof of no work. I'm going to go into investigative journalist mode. You're proud degen, I would say. I love the work you do. I was in on your first pump sack. I really appreciated that. I had fun with it. I think I might even hold some pump sack. What attracted you to Darker Matter and Max with us boomers trying to do something that's more than just a red and green button? Why do you even have interest in the project?
Well, Max and I have known each other for years. He helped me out, and I've helped him out. Initially when I was first getting known in the community, he was one of the first streamers that platformed me and gave me some time. And, in rebuttal, when he was building some of his projects, he consulted me for a lot of times on streams, and we talked back and forth together. So we've been in the community since day one of Pulse, and he was in Hex before I was even in the community. So he was just like a OG figure that I've looked to when I first got into the community. He was some guy that I respected and saw other people respected. So I've been following the project. I followed the Dark token too. So yeah, I'm just here to support him, man, because he's a good dude.
Okay, very good. That's about the answer I expected, and I'm glad that we agree that Max is good people.
Yeah, man, it's so sad, bro. Like I've tried to work with so many people, and I don't ever get paid anything. I don't ever ask anything. I'm trying to just like help people build the community and stuff. And like almost every person I've tried to do this for has taken advantage of the relationship and gone on to like manipulate the community for their own personal interests. And Max is one of the guys that's not the exception to the rule. And it's so nice to see that. And after years of putting this effort in nonstop, streaming for such consistency all the time, if he's always on here, like it's good to support people like this, man. So it's good to see even Sami came on here and brought his audience, and you're getting a lot of attention now. It's good, man.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to help you guys though with some advice too with that, like the pulse, with putting some pulse pair against your tokens when you launch them. It helps
Yeah.
bring a lot more attention and easy access for other degens that want to get in.
Yes.
No.
Yep. Well, that's good. I appreciate the candor and I appreciate the support.
Yeah, and I'm still holding my original Pawn Dub token from back in the day. I don't
Oh,
think
yeah?
I have. Yeah, I have never sold it, and I think I paired it with Dark back in the day. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but maybe I should just pair it with.
It has very little liquidity with anything. It's been almost entirely paired to Pulse its entire life cycle on purpose. I never tried to pair against multiple different things because I just would get extracted. Like Pulse Chain has like roughly 60-70% of all transactions are done by MEVs. So you're just going to get really extracted if you provide too many liquidity pairs, especially at small amounts. So I've just tried to keep it all concentrated in Pulse. But I'm actually really happy if you go to the PONW Pulse pair and look at it.
Yeah,
I don't know which one, whatever one's the oldest.
One's 3 years, one's 1 year, and then you have
That one,
some
yeah,
Pulsex there. You got $24 paired with Pulsex. It looks like you want to. You'd rather have that in your pocket than
like
pair
I
it
didn't
with-
provide any of those other pairs. It's all community, so you can't stop anyone from doing it. They're allowed to do whatever they want. But the Pulse pair on Proof of No Work, I'm really happy it finally made a new all-time high again. So
Beautiful.
if you go to just paired versus Pulse and the price and scale out to, you're probably gonna have to go to like daily because it's been alive for 3 years now, but it finally went to new all-time high.
It's crazy that 3 years is considered like a really old token.
It is. I mean, for
Yeah.
any
Look
type
at
of, but that's not the versus Pulse.
that. Oh yeah.
That's
Sorry. This
right.
is worth it. This is just versus the dollar.
Yeah, that's the versus
So
dollar.
that's
It's almost,
USD.
it's getting close again. It's within like
Here's
6x.
versus Pulse right here.
But
It's,
yeah,
you got a Loch Ness monster popping out of the lake right there.
yeah. So one of the
I think that's the
sacrificers,
technical
that
jargon.
big red. You see that big red candle in the middle there? One of
Yeah,
the
this one right here, the
sacrificers,
big U.
yeah, they had a huge bag. I don't remember what it was. It was like something 5% of the supply or something like that, and they sold their whole bag within like a day right there, and completely nuked it. But outside of that, it's been uptrending the whole time.
Well, and you can talk about this because I mean, you obviously have a 3-year-old child right here in front of us. There's this emotional attachment you get to something that you've built and worked and created and promoted, and it's like a child. It's
Yeah,
if
it's your
you
creation,
see
yeah.
someone just like disrespect it or not show appreciation towards it by dumping it, and it's really hard not to get emotional and offended and pissed off because you're like, what are you guys doing? This is the
Yeah.
because it's your baby.
Well,
And
I
so
had to
it's
buy that big
favorite.
line, you see to the right
Yeah.
of it. Because
Yeah.
the history of this chart almost, I don't know, it's something really truly insane, like 80% of the buys or something like that, or me. You just saw after about 2 years or so, people just gave up on this project and moved on. But I have just kept buying it because it was a sacrifice project and I've been helping out the community here. But at this point, it's just a massive loss for me because I've never sold and have bought back like 20% of the liquid supply, which is over like half of the, or about like 20% of the total supply off the market over it. And that's like almost half of the liquid market. So without me just degenning into this with no real common sense, I've lost so much money on this. It wouldn't be performing like this. But
So if someone was paying attention back then when that mini well, that killer well dumped, and they were buying it when you bought it, you see there's actually like 4 candles of sideways action right there, 4 days, where I imagine you were like selling a kidney or feet picks or something like that.
This is like, I'm pretty sure around this time that my portfolio value on Pulse was like 5K or something. Like it was really low and I was wiped out here and I had to sell like everything on there, make all kinds of moves to recover.
Yeah. But if they would have sold, if they would have had Pulse or anything and they would have invested there, it's up 30x. against Pulse.
Yeah, I mean,
From that sell.
I think the numbers wherever when you did the math, I thought it was over like 60x from the low to the high. It was like over 65x. It might even be higher now because it's been going up more. But maybe this might not be the full chart history that you have over here.
Yeah, well, this was like from that dump right there. It says 3,091% against Pulse, but maybe I could have it wrong.
I don't know. I just recently did the math in my Telegram, and it was like over 60x or something like that.
Yeah.
But either way, it's still a big gain. You outperformed Pulse significantly.
It's ridiculous. And this is what we call, this is exactly what we call a curb stomp right here. If this thing doesn't retrace, if this thing starts a new plateau up here, which I would imagine it definitely could, you've got yourself a curb stomp right there. Boom. Straight up and then sends.
Well, someone just recently bought, actually. Someone's been buying it for the first time in a long time, aside from me, during this big greenness, too. So this was a combination of both of us doing this. So shout out to whoever that is. I don't know who that is, but I appreciate someone actually jumping onto this. It took me pumping it to a brand new all-time high for them to jump in, but shout out to you.
It's kind of crazy, huh? Where like you do the work or like I said, these nibble bots that I've been putting together for, you can fund them with a couple $100 and they will accumulate a stupid amount of tokens at very, very low prices. And I remember you were one of the very first people that convinced me that tax tokens had a purpose or could be used, and they weren't just, ways to take advantage of people.
It's all about what the tax goes to, like what does the tax do itself? The tax itself is not necessarily bad, but what does the tax fund is always the issue. And in the proof of no work fund, it was destroying the tokens, taking them out of circulation, increasing scarcity, and then also reflecting back to people who held it already. So giving them like a dividend, a payment. All the degens want the number to go up, but after the number to go up and number not go down, the thing they want to earn is APR, is APY, is interest somehow. And this token pays you in it itself. So I think tax tokens, when done the right way, have a good value and have actually superior economics to a stable meme token. But, the community has to get to value the token itself, because the token itself not being valued is just no different than a meme token. But these economics make it like superior, in my opinion. Every transaction is decreasing value or increasing scarcity and increasing your holdings. That's good.
Yeah. Now you got me wondering, where did I know I have that bag somewhere. Now I want to see, I wonder how would I tell how many I received in reflection just from holding the bag for the last year or two? Probably 2 years.
Well, you could
maybe
just look
3.
at your initial buy. You could find whatever your initial buy is, and you see what the token amount is, and then you see what your token amount is now. And that would be interesting to see, because I know initially in the first year of proof of no work, the APY was like in the lower teens. I'm sure it's much lower now,
Yeah, Mr. G Fire is in the house. Hello, Mr. G Fire. Great to see you.
Good to see you. How are you?
I'm great. I am done cleaning carpets for the day. I'm hanging out with friends. We're talking about crypto until our ears fall off. Life does not get better than this.
You just got to be on a beach. I think it's the only thing that make it better.
Yeah.
Both your tokens are pumping, man. You got Curb at 24K almost, and Jack's at 46K almost.
Yeah, but now I've got to find something to sell for Pulse to pair it with Jackpot.
Well, yeah, now it gets more expensive now, and you've got a lot of liquidity out here, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I every time someone put liquidity in one of those pairs, which was difficult because you have to have pinkness well or darker to add liquidity to the pairs that exist, I would just sit there and pull mine off. I'd be like, okay, well, if someone's going to step up and put 10% in, I'm going to take 10% out. And I would love for all the liquidity to be community provided, because then it's not like they're not thinking that I'm going to pump, I'm going to rug pull or blah, blah. I can't. I'm not the liquidity anymore. Yeah. So that's kind of where I want to get with all of my bags and all my.
It'd be nice to get that, man, but not a lot of people like to provide liquidity. It's rare,
We have one seriously mental ill person that G-Fire might know of that he has a liquidity providing problem. Like he's got to go to LP Anonymous 12 step because he's been putting some thick liquidity in Darker and some other stuff.
Shout out.
Yeah. He's a big supporter for sure.
Yeah, and I didn't realize this, but on Squirrel Swap, it actually shows you your APR or APY on your liquidity providing, because PulseX is not good at showing you your actual fees and what you're making. It just kind of like rolls it all into your supply. But on SquirrelSwap.pro, it was showing you the on the different liquidity pairs. It was showing you what those liquidity pairs were paying, and it kind of blew. I was like, oh wow, you can actually see what you're making on your liquidity pairs on SquirrelSwap from PulseX and SwitchX and all of the other places. So that's pretty cool.
One thing I noticed when I was swapping for the Curb token initially is I did try to go with that PLS pair. Mm-hmm. And when I went to swap PLS for the Curb, it showed no route. So I had to go buy the darker token first in order to get it.
Yeah. And we designed that because we were pushing everyone through the two tokens that nobody has. And it was pushing up the price somewhat. But like you said, I think that you put in that trifecta of Pulse might work better. Sorry to interrupt you. I was just going to throw that out there.
No, it's good, man. I that's exactly what I was thinking. But at the same time, I could remove that pair at any time and could just leave it back to the scarcity of Darker if that's what you wanted to do. If you wanted to leave it exclusive, it's all about your project and all that. I don't want to tamper with it too much, but just in the liquidity management of these tiny nanocats, when I've seen them launch, I think this has been a way to really get them going, because the people don't want to click that extra button to go buy the Darker. Because I had to just simulate, the Darker transaction to see if it would work, and it did work. But with WPLS, it wouldn't work. So that extra step is making a lot of degens be like, I'm not doing it.
I think I like both of them. I think I like both because let's say the first 24 or 48 hours of a token, we leave, Pulse or Hex or any of those regular or EDI, we leave all those out of it. And that really makes the first 24 hours, 48 hours a members only token. Like people that either have some Darker or some Pink Miswell or Jackpot, they can jump in and really get first mover advantage, where like you said, a lot of people just like, no, I'm not going to do that step.
Yeah.
And so it like gives these guys this insane, it basically gives them the sniper bot challenge without getting hit with the sniper bot.
Yeah, it's like what it does, it automatically causes your token to get the buy pressure, which is exactly what you want. But the problem is if you leave your token as the only pair, like say the initial token that you're trying to prop up by launching the second token, if you leave that as the main liquidity or as the primary liquidity, when people want to cash out, they're going to cash out into your token. And then a lot of times they're going to cash out from your token into PLS. And so that's going to end up hurting your chart. When people want to take profit, they're actually going to be taking profit into the chart that you didn't want them to take profit, that you actually wanted to prop up with the whole thing in the first place. So after a little bit of time, it probably is a good idea to get Hex in there, or Pulse, EDI, PLS, something like that.
And give them that as a fire exit.
Give them, that option to exit. Because most people, again, even though they know that they could get a more successful swap by swapping the Darker and then swapping the Darker for Pulse, they just won't even click the button. They'll just click the Pulse because it's easier. It's better for the degens. Just click it. And then you'll end up not having that pressure go to your Darker chart.
Yeah. You still have 100 trillion supply of proof of no work? Or does that not include the burnt token?
Yeah, the burned amount, I can't remember the exact burn figures, but it's something like 35% or 40% is burned. And then there's the proof of some work. Smart contract has 15% or so of the supply that's locked up in it and is effectively burned as well. So the burned amount's actually over 50%.
So you're saying that Wrap Pulse is burnt liquidity?
All the proof of no work liquidity is all burnt, yeah.
Wow. Like I said, that when I was talking about Dr. Doge earlier and being conviction, and even to a point where it can hurt you, that locking and putting your money where your mouth is, be like, look, this cannot be pulled. That's a power move. That's a really strong move. And I want to let G-Fire in here because we really appreciate him showing up. He is a fairly new degen in the crypto world, and I wanted to answer any questions he has. Let him in on the conversation. But really quick, I did find my proof of no work, and I'm probably one of your whales. I've got to be one of your whales because I got 595 billion, so half
Nice.
a trillion.
Yeah,
That's
so that's
not
like
bad.
it's like a whale. That's over a whale position in the circulating supply, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, it's 5x from the 200. I put $200 in. It's worth $1,000 now, and in this market, that is, I mean, that's a huge win. I'll have to see if I can go back on chain and find out what the original amount was, and then I can figure out what the reflection was. But man, how sweet to just sit on it. Now, do I get the reflections if I put it in a liquidity pair or no?
No, the liquidity pools specifically don't get any reflections.
Okay.
That was one of the problems actually. That was like the proof of no work why I made it. One of the things I made to solve was because the reflections were going to the liquidity pools, but they were going single sided, so it wasn't going reverse pulse. It was just adding the other token, which would make the chart gap down all the time. So you don't want to give the reflections to the liquidity pool or the people providing liquidity because of that.
Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. Okay, so wow, join the collective mid-10. G-Fire, welcome to the stream. I'm surprised that you beat CryptoCat in here. He must not be close enough to his Starlink to join.
Well, I actually jumped on because he sent me a message about Curb, and I was like, I don't understand what this is. And he was like, Max is online talking about it right now. I was like, okay, I got a couple minutes before dinner. I thought I'd just check in.
Yeah, please do. I think you'll notice it looks like a JPEG in the corner of my screen right here.
It's beautiful.
The darker matter. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. There's a group that we call that call themselves the Darker Matter Fan Club, and I believe you might be one of the members. Is that true?
True story. Yep.
Cheers. Does anyone else have MetaMask listing agproject.io as a scam risk? You have to click 7 times for every action. It sucks. Yeah, actually, no. AG Project's not the only one. Almost anything on Pulse Chain, it'll do that with, that hasn't jumped through all their hoops and dealt with their extortion and BS. So I would say, yeah, MetaMask is going to claim almost everything's a scam. I've become a huge fan of the ZKX wallet, especially since their upgrade. They've started to show a USD value for Darker and a bunch of tokens that they didn't have earlier. So, yeah, to answer, yeah, MetaMask is still one of the most secure wallets if you're going to pair it with your hardware wallet and keep it as a vault, like a safe place that's cold storage for your tokens. MetaMask is still good for that. It's shit for everything else, basically, especially on Pulse Chain. Yeah, it happens to me too. I wish whatever triggers MetaMask can be altered to this doesn't happen. Whoops, chips are in the upper right hand. Oh, no, they weren't. I actually took that. CryptoCat was asking where are the chips located because you can claim them and they're on chain, but there was no visualization representation of them. And so I started telling Claude to start making that happen, and maybe it has happened. I haven't claimed mine yet, but I was going to claim them here on stream so you guys can see those chips right there. So you can claim them here, but I'm actually going to have them displayed here with your rank of navigator or operator or whatever, and your tax exempt status up here underneath the Connect wallet. So if they're not there yet, they should be very soon. So, and also I tried to get it to fix the format because some people were having to zoom in and out of the screen to get what I have seen right here, the aspect ratio I have right here of the website, and so people were having to do the control minus control plus to get it to be able to see all the tiles and buttons. So that should be done. That should be fixed as well. So,
do the chips tokens have any liquidity provided to them?
Not at all. My idea is to pair them with the curb stomp and nothing else. I was gonna pair everything in a web, but that was like 27 pairs. And Claudia's like, why don't you just use the curb stomp token as a hub, connect all the liquidity to that, and then have curb stomp connected to the rest of the ecosystem? I thought, oh yeah, that's way smarter. But I don't know. People could sell them, but you only get one per address, and you only get one for every what am I trying to say? Every target or every milestone. Milestone's the word I'm looking for. You only get one per milestone. So if you earn your 30-day chip, you kind of want to hang on to that, because you can't earn another 30-day chip unless you start, stake in another wallet and go through those 30 days of staking.
Yeah, so this is just going to be like community provided liquidity again, but it's not even going to have the amount of liquidity that these other tokens likely have. It's even to have smaller amount.
Yeah, because there's going to be way more 7-day chips than there's going to be 1-year chips, because everyone that hasn't started earning their chip yet, they still have to buy, mint, and stake, and then wait to start stacking those chips, those degen recovery chips. And so it's going to be like more of a status symbol and more of a badge of honor than something people might want to sell. I mean, granted,
Gotcha.
My question is, I don't even know how you would value those. I don't know what price you would set when you create liquidity with them.
Yeah.
That's something that, I guess if we pair them with Curb Stomp, I really don't know what price you'd give them. You could do something insane.
You would think it would be like, remember like Actuator, how they have the curve?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would probably be something like a curve, so that the 7-day chips are going to be less, and then the further you get out, they're going to be more rare. So
so like the 1-year chips or the 5-year chips eventually are like very rare and held by 20, 30 people maybe.
Yeah.
They're just completely insane people, by the way.
Community needs to think of something to do with them. I don't know.
But then again, I've been hanging on to Proof of No Work token for 3 years, and the time has just flown by. So like,
yeah,
who knows? Someone might just forget about this in some wallet somewhere and come back and be like, oh, I can claim those. And then, yeah, very interesting. Let's go back. I did want to go back and give more time to G-Fire, but he's gone. He went and ate dinner. So that was why I just talked too much. Yes.
I got one of those cosmic coincidences. Right now, my Hex and Hex time token 7,000 LP, right now it's worth $369. How about that?
That's crazy.
It's coded. Yeah.
Nice.
That's what we're talking about. Hex Glenn's in the house. Hi, all. The Wrestler is asking why buy the Curb Stomp token. Don't. I'm telling you guys, don't buy any of the. You can buy them if you want to degen and paint a chart or whatever. And if you believe,
it's a new shiny object, man. That's why we buy it.
Yeah, and it's a green candle. So like, telling people not to buy a green candle is like, telling a dog not to roll around in the grass. They're gonna do it. They're gonna roll around the grass. But at the same time, I don't want anyone to have expectation of these at all, because to me they're kind of like, I'm trying to show people what could happen with darker matter if they just believe. And actually the minting that's gone on in the first six rounds is insane. It's double what I thought was going to happen. Double the participation of the airdrop launch tokens being minted and staked. So it's going to happen sooner than even I thought it was going to happen. But still, I'm impatient, and I just want to show people, like we did with Pink Miss Well. I mean, Pink Miss Well had an insane curb stomp back in the day. And
what was its all-time high?
Its all-time high was like $1 million for $400. So like 10x from where it is right now. Right now it's like $40 for $1 million. And there's, it actually has the locked liquidity with Pulse. In fact, it would have gone up with the price going up, but it was like 7K locked with Pulse. And right now, Pink Miss Well and Pulse from Pump.Tires, it was a Pump.Tire token. It has 8K of liquidity locked forever. So yeah, there's the chart right there, and this right here from 21 for a million all the way up to 420 for a million. That was just a very short time where all we did was say, hey, if you guys send Pink Mistwell tokens to the Pink Mistwell address, then we were giving out NFTs like crazy back in the day.
Yeah.
And some of them had won the lottery, so they were worth some actual cash value.
This was one of Pumped Out Tire's most successful tokens.
Yeah,
if you go to like the launches and look at by market cap and stuff, it's still one of the top ones.
Yeah, and it, honestly, even though it went through the insane dumping right here, all the way down with dark matter and everything else and Pulse, this is mostly Pulse pulling it down because of that locked liquidity. Yeah. It's honestly just a handful of people believe in this token and believe in what it stands for, which is, you know, our benevolent well, Pink Mistwell, that was so kind to us in the first version of dark matter. It still has an insane amount of darker matter right now.
Is that the USD chart?
Yeah, this is the USD chart, and then this is the
imagine get some help from PLS chart too, and you get back up to SAC price or above SAC price.
So
nice these charts could look.
There's Pulse, so we're already much closer to all-time high against Pulse.
Yeah,
and like I said, we have nibble bots here. In fact, there's a nibble bot using Pink Mistwell to buy Jackpot, and then there's another nibble bot buying Pink Mistwell. You know, so every bot has another bot behind it refilling and going up the chain. So it's like pulling something with a string that's attached to a cord, like a shoelace, and then the shoelace is attached to some twine, and then this twine's connected to a rope, and the rope's connected to a chain. Like, you just pull on one and it doesn't get anyone's attention. No one pays attention to this little tiny 20-cent buy that happens every 300 seconds, right? It goes completely unnoticed.
Your perspective changed too, depending on how you look at it. Like, look at this chart right here. Even that big dump that you were talking about versus USD, it doesn't even look like that big of a deal on this chart because it's a log and it's paired versus Pulse. You just see a different perspective, you know, about how you're looking at things. It could be looking at the exact same data, but you change the inputs just a little bit, and it's a whole new perspective.
Yeah, and I don't know. You see, when you've looked at enough charts and you see the levels of resistance and support, you see some blue sky on a couple of these. It's hard not to shill some of this stuff. It's hard to show restraint and tell people, you know what, just see what happens. I mean, if you want to throw some money in it for fun, do it. But shoot, I mean, Curb's at 2,600. Yeah. So like the fact that I'm telling people not to buy it is probably doing more to shill it than me going out and shilling it or saying
that's how it always seems to go, huh? Whenever people say don't buy, those are the ones that move.
Yeah, Curb's up to $64, which isn't. That's insane. That's insane.
24 hours showing 3,100% gains.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But again, what happens when people buy a token and they don't cheat within 32 seconds? Like, there's real money out there. There's real energy out there, and there's real community power out there. And it just feels like nobody, well, I shouldn't say nobody, but very few people are tapping into community, building the community and sticking with the community now. And I think people are sleeping on it. That's why, like, even though I don't like the tokenomics or history of PDAI, the fact that there's an actual community that's pumping it and talking about it and putting energy into it makes it hard to ignore.
Yeah. I mean, man, it's not the same as it was. You know, things change, your worldview updates. And, you know, I was very outspoken against PDAI, you say all the time. I was trying to bring people to light about the things that I saw as manipulation, fraud, deception about it. But at this point, we are like, you know, what's the difference between PDAI and any of these other tokens? It's not being minted. You're not having any of these big concerning issues where people were doing all these type of backdoor dealings. It's just like any other meme token. It's like a pump tires token or whatever now. So if people want to support it, whatever. I don't think that this is the same thing that we were talking about before. So if the people are still there and they still believe in it and they want to shill it, it's just like pump it to $1, man. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. But I think that the truth got exposed.
Yeah. Well, look at the Doge token, the original Doge. It is literally an inflation bug. It's a coded inflation bug. That's it. It's just an inflation bug that pretends.
You could even say that about Ethereum or Pulse, you know?
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
There's inflation bugs, but you got that community around Doge, and I used to follow those guys back in the day when I was a Bitcoin maxi. We would use Doge to move our Bitcoin money. So if you wanted to move or send Bitcoin somewhere, you never used the Bitcoin network because it was a piece of shit, and it still is. What you would do is you would convert the Bitcoin to Doge, and you would transfer it for absolutely lightning fast for no money, and then you'd convert it back into Bitcoin in the new wallet. And it gave you a little bit of privacy, not a lot. I mean, you could trace it, but at the same time, that's all we used Doge for, was to transfer our Bitcoin. And now you look back and you're like, wow, there's still a crazy strong community there. Or look at XRP. There's a bunch of people that believe in XRP despite a decade of lies, decade of total
lying, man, whatever
lies and dumping on their community, and the community is just like, oh yes sir, may I please have another. It's like, you guys are crazy.
I think that that's the biggest proof of is how like over people are of the fiat system, how much they hate the traditional money, that they're just like willing to accept all this other fraudulent bullshit lies too. Because it's just like, we're so fed up. Just let some new people lie to us. Let some new people make up some new scam, but they don't even care. They, BitConnect was one of the most popular things in the history of crypto, and that was just an outright Ponzi.
Yeah, and if BitConnect had just not rugged, I think they were kind of forced to rug, but they could have rode that thing way longer before anyone ever knew that there was no actual code trading bot making 10,000% a day or whatever they claimed it was.
They were just saying, oh, it's conservative. It's making conservative 4% per day, 3% per day, or whatever. It was just a straight lie. They're not compounding 3% every single day and not taking losses. It was crazy. Should have known.
Yeah, bananas. Let me get into. Actually, let me check the chat, because we do have chat that we don't want to forget about here. Hexclan, like I said, is in the house. G-Fire, was so good to see him here. G-Fire in the house. You don't have enough curb stomp. Hex is king. I mean, yeah, that's what brought all of us to the dance. Hit the like button. Thank you very much. Yes, please hit the like button. Share this out. I'm a little baby streamer. I've got like 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think I've been stuck at like 2,000 subscribers for the 4 years or whatever I've been streaming. But that's okay. It's small but a mighty group here, and it's a lot of fun. I was going to get into our website here and actually show people. This is some feedback and a suggestion from Hexplosive in our chat, and he said, "What is there somewhere on the site that we can just go that tells us all the actions we can take that day?" Because you have to mint for a round in front of you, you've got to stake in the rounds behind you, you got to claim your jackpot at the end of a round, and so it's a lot for people to figure out, and go through every step. So I put this together, mission control, where you can claim, like it says, this shows me right here, I have $1.65 of EDI that I can claim for my sacrifices. I've got 1,000 fuel cells that are ready to stake because they've synced an entire round. It tells me I've got 9 days and 17 hours to buy darker and mint for round 7. That's great. And then 276 stake cells. Check for matured stakes. If I click that, it'll show me my 10 33-day stakes that have matured. But obviously, none of those 180-day stakes are going to mature until New Year's Eve, basically. That's when. Man,
I love this feature, man. This is like one of the best things I've seen on this site. Best feature added to it.
I love it. Now, the thing I was trying to do, because this shows me my cult Space Cult chips too, and I think if it says it's deployed, so
I claimed them, bro. I claimed all 3 of them.
Are they showing up here in the top right there?
Yeah, it showed that I got a token. I didn't do anything with it, but I got one.
It's there. Yeah, because I was like, wow, there's no visual representation of these tokens.
It was super sketchy, man, because I was using Rabby, so it's just I don't even know what the hell's going on. I'm hoping that you're not gonna completely scam me here, and if you do scam me, maybe you'd like give me some back. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I've got my chip number. I just claimed my day 7 chip, and now I'm going to go back and claim my 7-day. It looks like I can claim I've got my 30-day chip as well. I think it only shows a few at a time. Transaction cannot be set. It'll revert on chain. Oh yeah, sorry.
You just claimed, didn't you?
I just claimed. That's why it just hasn't updated. So let me just do a hard refresh and see if the 7-day token shows up here in my.
I didn't need the hard
display.
Refresh on mine. It was
Boom! Look at that. It's in the Connect wallet box. Here's my 7-day chip.
When I claimed mine, I claimed the 7-day, and just like you, I had these 3 options, and then I just went to go click the next claim, and it changed colors like how it is right now, where it says minting, and you couldn't click the button anymore. And I didn't need a hard refresh like you did. It was just after you did that, it didn't even show the ability to click claim again.
Yeah, so let me see if I want to do another hard refresh. It should show my 14-day up there. Boom, look, yeah, there's my 7, my 14. I'll grab my 30-day chip. And by the way, we should actually have like a chip ceremony like they have in AA where everyone like you publicly get given this chip, and you kind of have to, usually you say a couple words where you're like, talk about getting to that point in recovery. But the fact that we can tie this to something that is degen recovery, I think is kind of cool. So let me refresh it. And I like the colors of them actually. And like I said, I might reach out to a coin maker like Steve Stash, and we might actually make some physical copper coins or something like that. Maybe make the material more and more valuable. Maybe we'll start with like some tin or something super cheap for the day 7s, and then work our way up to more expensive metals or just cooler designs, and then let people claim those. You remember the Socks NFT, right? Yeah, I was trying to tell
Uniswap back in the day when it was one of the first Uniswap projects.
Yeah, Unisocks.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain that to some of the newer people, and they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, there were these socks, and the socks were worth tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars as they got more and more rare. And it was bananas, but people just love the idea of getting socks. And I was like, man, we could probably do the same thing here with these, where if you
people love the idea of getting a real world asset tied to something on the blockchain, and they didn't care what it was. That's where they're willing to pay $200,000 in socks.
Can you imagine buying $2,000 pair of socks as a flex?
They just wanted to be part of the proof of concept.
Yeah. It's crazy what community and their narrative can do. But yeah, there they are.
Man,
so
Hex
now,
brought us all here to do this. Hex been rugged how many times? It seemed like Richard damn near abandoned it. You went to a whole new network, and people are still here 6 years later. It doesn't matter.
Well, and that's the thing I try to tell people. Everyone credits Richard Hart for creating Hex, and he really didn't. he came up with some of the parameters like 3.69% inflation and other stuff, but he put it up to the community for 2 years. We would watch him as he was coding and building Bitcoin Hex in the beginning, and then Hex later. We were watching him on stream every day being like, okay, well, what should the penalty be, and what should we do with this, and how should we do the stakes? And at the end of the day, it was Dev Kyle that came up with the T-shares. It was really was the community that made Hex, and Richard Hart is who made the community. So Richard Hart's greatest strength and skill and talent, I believe, even to this day, it's not his hype, it's not his marketing. It's literally the fact that he built the community that gave Hex so much value and still continues to keep it going.
Yeah, I think Richard's biggest value to me was an educator. But for me,
Yeah,
especially
definitely very good at
personally,
that as well.
that's what his biggest value to me was to give me education on things in blockchain that you couldn't find answers for, especially at the time, especially in like 2017, 2018, 2020, even there wasn't, these LLMs weren't out yet, and you didn't have the big assistance of AI in the public, and to find out basic answers about questions was really hard to find. And then to find out answers about like VCs and all of this, and people would be wondering, why are all these tokens going up in value? And then it seems like a group of people are just sending them to zero as soon as people find out about them. How come there's these shiller groups that are being pumped and all that? And Richard like exposed these parts of the crypto that people didn't talk about. I think that's what his huge value was and what we miss from him most today. People want him to stream so that he can promote, but what he did best while he was promoting was educating. That's what he brought the people to, and that's what made the community and stuff too.
Yeah, and then he went on to educate people through debate, which
Right.
was entertaining and informative. Like some of those debates, I still go back and watch.
And that
Like,
we
holy
needed that
cow.
so desperately at the time, man, because it was like the mainstream of crypto. These were the biggest trusted mouthpieces, and they had narratives and
They're all
talking
full of
points
shit.
that Richard completely was competent enough to expose and destroy, because he was in the rooms with some of the people that made these decisions. He was there from the beginning in a lot of cases, so he knew what was going on instead of speculating. And when points where people were making assumptions and taking leaps, Richard like had an insight that these other people didn't, and that's really what was so valuable, to see these people's narratives fold in real time because he had the info.
Yeah. Jonathan Kampala's in the house. I just happened to find you all on X. That's
Nice,
crazy.
man.
Good,
Shout out.
good to have you, D Gomez 409. I want to go over here to our stream because this is where I got to go to do this. D Gomez 409. I want to go over here to our. And everyone in here gets a wrench if they're cool. If you're not cool, then you don't get a wrench. But you, D Gomez, you sir, you get a wrench. So
I don't even know how to do this, man. This is advanced YouTube stuff here.
I didn't know for a long time, and the thing was like, during the last bull run, I got popular enough to get spam and like porn bots and stuff in my chat.
Oh, okay.
And that's actually how I knew I had made it as an influencer, was by getting that malware. But I was like, how do I do this? And so I learned how to wrench people. And
Just
then I
gotta click the
never-
3 dots, huh? And they'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah. I just never stopped wrenching people. So Mr. Gomez, use that wrench, use that power for good and not evil. And throw another chat up here so you can see that awesome blueness going on.
I
Very
have to
cool.
admit, it was pretty awesome when I got my first wrench.
You remember when you got your first wrench?
I do.
Oh, right. You
Hey,
should
congrats,
see this
bro.
Hex Tat D Gomez 409. Oh, you should see my Hex Tat. Yeah, I'll show it to you guys. This was like one of the first ones on Hex.com was my tattoo, and I got this when I retired from trucking, and now I got to get another tattoo when I retire again. So I'm thinking the other shoulder is gonna have something to do with darker matter. Maybe the astronaut. There's just so much ink in these logos, and I'm a huge pussy, so I don't know what I'm actually gonna get tattooed on the other shoulder.
Wow.
But thank you. Yeah, Yo, believe in yourself. How many chip denominations will there be? Right now, there's 7, and they're listed in our Telegram right now. If we go, let's go to it right now. Boom. Here we go. Right there. I'll just drag this over here. So these are the contract address of the 7, 14, 30, 60, 90, 120, 180, 270, 365. So right now we have all the way up to a year. And I imagine we'll add 2, 3, 4, 5 year chips as well that we'll mint and give people. So, yeah.
Can you explain how to get the chips?
Yeah. So the chip is how many days you have not only minted an NFT, but you've staked the NFT. So we have 2 options to stake your NFT. One's 33 days, And if you stake your NFT for 33 days, starting at 33 days, you get a 10x bonus from the treasury.
yield, right? Yeah.
So the FOMO curve that has 60, the FOMO curve's got 70% of our supply is in the treasury, waiting to pay out diamond hands. And so, yeah, you get a 10x boost for doing a 33-day stake, which we created. That's for people that wanted to dip their toe in the water and try it for a month and see what it feels like. Because a lot of people aren't willing to commit to 6 months. People aren't really willing to commit to a day in crypto right now.
Yeah, even 33 is a lot, man.
Yeah. So 33 just gives people, it's 3 rounds. You give up your claim to the treasury while you're locked. So the people that are locking for 180 days are literally giving other people their treasury yield for 6 months, for almost 17 rounds.
Yeah.
They're giving up their treasury yield, because at the end of that 180 days, you can claim Liquid Darker and your boost goes to 100x. So all of your NFTs get paid like they're 100 NFTs from the treasury, as they compete with the other ones.
But they get paid darker.
Yeah, they get paid in they get paid in darker from the FOMO curve, which have you seen the FOMO curve on here?
I don't think I've actually seen the FOMO curve, no.
Oh my gosh. Get ready to, are you sitting down and wearing a diaper? That's my first question.
No, I do not have a diaper on.
Check out the FOMO curve. It is ridiculous. If you just go to the stake page right here, this is the FOMO curve loading right there. It's literally.
Oh, I did look at this. I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah, it actually goes up 5x for the second season and 25x for the third. So the first season, the first 22 rounds pays out 48 grand of the darker token to the NFTs. So it doesn't hit the market unless someone breaks open their NFT. But why would you break open your NFT when you're going to get paid? And especially if you stake for the 180 days, you can get your 180 days served in the first season, and then season 2 and 3, which go up to almost a $250,000 darker, and then 1.2 million darker for the third season. You would definitely be like, there's no reason to ever end your stake, at least, until the game's over, or,
because once you end your stake, then you stop being able to collect future yield.
Yeah. As soon as you end your stake, your yield goes back to 1, your weight in the pool goes back to 1 NFT, and you can't claim these, right here, if you go to get paid.
Is it 1 or 1.1?
It's just 1.
It's
Well,
just one.
I think it's, according to the code, it's 0.1, but
Yes.
it's the same for everyone. So yeah, it's basically everyone gets that 1 weight. But there's 164,000 darker that are going to be paid out every 11 days to the people that hit that 180-day stake. And this, like I said, this doesn't pay out until New Year's Eve. So it's got 164,000 darker in it from minting, and it's going to snowball for the next 134 days. So as you can see right here, I have 1,000 NFTs. It's counting 2,000, so that it's saying that if all 2,000 were matured, which wouldn't happen the same day because they're kind of staggered, kind of like a hex stake ladder. But basically, it would tell me if this were live right now and those were mature, I could claim 137 Liquid Darker, just like the jackpot, and they would show up. It would just go straight to my wallet, and I would get paid a mini jackpot every 11 days forever. Or, as long as this is running, as long as Pulse Chain's running.
And you can keep claiming this without expiring your NFT stake or whatever, without disqualifying yourself from the darker yield, right?
Yeah, if you end your stake, you can't claim this anymore.
Okay. Great.
So it incentivizes and pays people a little bit of Liquid Darker every 11 days to leave their shit locked.
And how do you get the chips for beyond 180 days? You have to stake again with the same NFT and the same address?
No. This, if you staked one NFT and just never unstaked it, you would get each one of these chips eventually.
Oh, okay.
But if
I
you
got
ended the stake, you'd have to start it over to start your days over.
And
so
the thing is,
really-
once you do the 180-day stake, you can't unstake before 180.
No, you can. There's no penalty. You can unstake it whenever you want, but you've already got skin in the game. You've already given up your treasury yield for however long you've been.
Oh, I got you. So you
holding
might
it.
as well. Yeah.
And yeah, now you got to start over. So you're at the back of the line.
Now,
So
Max, point of clarification, that 164K up there, the very first clock that hits 180 days and all of those NFTs that hit, it's going to pay the first 3.69% of that total, right?
correct.
Okay. And then how often does it do? Every 24 hours?
Every
it
11
doesn't-
days.
Okay.
So at the end of every round, it pays 3.69% out to the people that have are eligible or who have matured stakes.
Now, have any of the 33-day stakes been paid?
Yeah, I have some right here actually. So in the very first round, I staked 10 of them for 33 days. So if I just go to my matured ones, where I'm at, stake right here, season 1 matured. So you see how I have these glowing gold 10 stakes. If I go right there, I click on this little arrow right here. These are all glow, like once your stake becomes mature, it sits here and glows like it's a supercharged fuel cell.
Okay, so now do you have, if you unstake those, you would have one full darker token in each of the fuel cells, or how many did you accumulate in 33 days?
If I just go to info right here,
Yeah.
because I didn't get paid anything for 33 days. I gave up my claim for 33 days. And when I did that, if you look right here, I've got 53.8 darker cash value in these 1,000 fuel cells. 9% of that has come from those 33-day staked tokens. So
Yeah,
even though
that
I didn't
makes
get
sense.
paid anything for 3 rounds, and those tokens are 1% of my holdings, and they've already given me 9% of my return. So that'll actually grow, because it was 6% the first time we checked it. It'll actually grow for the 135 days until because I'm not getting anything from those 990 other stakes. I'm sacrificing that yield until New Year's Eve, basically.
Yeah, but the mature stakes, you could, not that you would, but you could get you could open up the candy jar, break open the piñata, and you'd have some dust of candy in there, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by break open the candy jar?
So like all of this darker inside the NFTs is locked. You can't access any of the stuff inside your NFTs, just like the WhatsApp NFTs, right? So the WhatsApp NFTs and these NFTs, they fill up with darker matter until you burn the NFT, unwrap the NFT, or break open the piñata is what we call it, right? So the darker is like candy filling up the piñata, and all these piñatas are staked. So if I wanted to, I could go to end stake right here, and I could end that stake. And as soon as I end the stake, the payout, the weight in that it gets paid from the treasury would go back to 1. And then I could go to cash out right here where you see the busted fuel cell. And all of these actions require unstaked fuel cells. So you got to end your stake to sell the NFT on a place like Squirrel Swap, which, I mean, that's the move. I have a whole video that's AI generated that explains I could sell my piñata to someone that's willing to let it continue to fill with candy, and that way I don't hurt the price of darker because I'm not dumping it on the market. I can also sacrifice these fuel cells, these NFTs, to the void, and I would get credit for those 35 darker in the EDI pool, and I'd get more EDI paid out from the EDI pool. Or I could deplete, which is, that's just busting it open, and I would get 90% of those tokens in my wallet and 10% would go back to the I think the 180-day pool. So those are your 3 ways to
90% of
cash
what
out.
balance would go? 90% of the NFT value of like one, so you get 0.9 tokens, 0.9 Darker per NFT.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Are you talking to us?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So like, are you saying is it 0.9 Darker per NFT? Then you're saying 90%.
I would get 90% of whatever is filled up inside that NFT.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So like going back here, if you go back to the info page right here and you look at my round 1 NFTs, they've accumulated 53.8 Darker at this point, which is worth, $39 of Darker today. If I were to end the stake and then I were to go to cash out and I was going to go to deplete and I said, yeah, I want to deplete it, I would get 90% of those 53 Darker and 10% of it would go to the 180-day bonus pool to pay out the diamond hands.
Okay.
So that's like we had someone in the last game, a whale, delete, like literally vaporize their fuel cells and cash out 30 grand from the market on the way down. It was painful to say the least, but he didn't have to do that. He could have sold the NFTs to someone that appreciated them. He also could have, instead of dumping on the market, he could have just gone to OTC. He could have gone to OX Bistro and gotten way more money for them. He probably would have walked with $50,000 had he sold them OTC versus $30,000 on the market. So, yeah.
Is this the website where you hold the NFT and you don't pay the fee for the?
Yeah, you pay a 0.5% fee instead of a 1% fee on 0x
Okay.
Bistro, and then there's a very similar website called Jolt. And
I think
Jolt
I have the
is also
NFT
an
for
OTC.
Bistro, but I don't know if I have Jolt. Could
Like
you
the
pull that
magic
one up?
golden bean.
Yeah,
It's,
I have that golden bean for sure. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah,
Those golden beans are pretty damn cool.
I haven't even seen the art for it. But could you pull up the other site that you were just talking about that had the OTC?
Jolt or OX Bistro?
Yeah, Jolt.
Yeah, Jolt is right here.
I've never seen this, I don't think.
And Jolt has a DEX, but it also has OTC. So we actually listed some over here. Here's
It's
some
an aggregator. It's not
Yeah.
a DEX. It's an aggregator.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So Jolt
Who
has
made
an
it?
aggregator. Not explosive.
Extrovert, aka Magic Carpet Ride 369. MCR 369.
How long ago did they come out with this? I didn't even know this was out.
That was released from beta probably 6 months ago.
Wow,
I was
completely
part of
missed
the testing. I was part of the testing group with Extrovert.
it. How's it do compared to Piteus or Pateo, however you say it?
Well, do they have an OTC?
Oh.
Or are you talking about the
these?
aggregator?
Yeah, aggregator, yeah.
The aggregator probably is the second best, only behind Red Squirrel, SquirrelSwap.pro.
That's the best one.
I've compared SquirrelSwap.pro to PulseX, Jolt.build, Pateus, SquirrelSwap.pro. I think you get the best execution there.
This one right here,
gotta check that, man.
swap.wix, is an aggregator of aggregators that that Tangent and the Wix people built. So you can go
It'll
here.
show you the best rate.
You can go here, put in any token, buy any token. It'll literally show you the best aggregator right here.
Oh, that's
Wix.
beautiful.
Like right now,
I
it's
didn't
set
know
up
this existed.
for 7 million wrap. If you do 7 million posts and you buy Wick, right now you'll get the best price on Squirrel, the second best on Pateus, and then it goes down. Jolt's number 4 here, and then Switch, Umbra.
And one of the reasons why Squirrels is a better execution, it has better price guessing. Point of no work. I don't know if you've been part of the new meta, but all the dexes, everything you look online, no matter how many you compare to side by side, it's the best guess of what the actual price is. Squirrel Swap will show you how close it believes it is to the actual price.
Like the quote you're saying?
Yeah,
The quoted
yeah.
price? Okay.
Yeah. Everything is a best guess. You won't really know until after you hit the submit, you sign the transaction, what
Right.
you will actually settle with.
The thing that always concerned me about Piteous was that they had this feature where if you had the quote that would come up for the swap, if your price moved significantly after you pressed the submit and it moved into your favor, meaning that you would get more tokens because say the token price went down while it was confirming, they would keep that extra and not give it to you. And I don't think that's not a standard. That was like just what was on their aggregator. So
Yeah,
if
you want to
SquirrelSwap
make
doesn't
some,
do that, that's probably the better thing to do.
Yeah, if you want to make some mock trades, go to app.swirlswap.pro and just put in tokens you're fairly confident you know what the best price is, and just watch it. It'll actually stop. It'll stop you and let you know there's a better price. Do you want to proceed? And Squirrel's not going to keep anything, and his fees are some of the lowest for any aggregator.
Yeah.
It's
One of
all
the most
community
trusted
built.
people in the community, man.
Yeah,
He's
it's all
been around for a
community
long
built.
time.
Yeah, it's all community built, and Red is probably tops in security, and he's tops in transparency.
That's good to know. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and shout out to Impressive Bones here, David Gomez. We already follow each other. I was going to come follow you on Twitter, but boom, we're already best friends on Twitter. Appreciate that. Well, now I'm forced to attend more. You are. As soon as you get a wrench, you got to come to church all the time. Now, that's really why we do that, was just basically to guilt you into showing up to all of our streams. CryptoCat has $70 because CryptoCat likes to fan the flames of degeneracy. He talks about tokens we don't want to talk about. He tells people to buy stuff. I say don't buy it. He just doesn't. He's crazy. $70. Are you saying that Curb Stomp is $70? Gosh. Yeah, 78.
Wow, look at Jack.
$78. Someone.
Look at the Jack
honestly,
chart,
this
Max.
would
It's
not have
moving
happened
too.
without your wrap pulse pair.
Maybe
look at-
not. I don't know.
Well, look at Jackpot. In fact, it's probably flowing into Jack. Holy shit!
Bro, I'm telling you, look at Jack. That's mooning too.
Jackpot's up 60%.
Yeah.
Probably because of the wrap pulse tied to Curb Stomp.
It just gives
And-
people an easier way in and out, maybe. Yeah, but who knows?
Yeah, but like I said, now I've got to sell something. Maybe I'll use some of the EDI payout I get from the sacrifice pool and go get a pile of wrap pulse and pair it with Curbs with Jackpot and see if it has the same insane effect on there.
Well, one thing you could do too, you were talking about earlier about maybe just having the Jackpot token or this new token be the center liquidity that you paired everything else to, instead of trying to make like all these new liquidity pairs with these new tokens that are coming out too.
Yeah,
What are
the
they
hub.
called? What are the tokens that we were just claiming that we were calling? I forgot what they're called.
Those are space cult chips.
The chips, yeah. Like if you maybe made one of the tokens the hub, and then you could pair the chip tokens to that one. Maybe you would rather do that to Darker though,
Yeah.
instead of one of these tokens. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's just an interesting way. Like I said, yeah, you'd probably have to come up with a curve of how rare those chips are. But like I said, I can't imagine selling a chip, just like I can't imagine selling like a sobriety chip from like Coda. I got my 3-year chip from Coda, and I carry that thing around with me all the time. It's like one of my most prized possessions, because it's a reminder of the hours and the days that you believed in yourself and did what was best for you. So
Yeah, maybe it's just a collector's item that nobody even pairs with anything. But if maybe you want to pair Pulse versus anything, maybe you just provide it to, instead of focusing on adding a new pair to Jack, you just build it from Darker or the other token. What's it called? I forgot. Curb.
Yeah, Curb Stomp. Which if you guys know what movie Curb Stomp comes from, it's pretty dark reference, but at the same time, that in the back of my mind, when I see a chart like Proof of No Work, pop straight up and never come down. It looks just like a street curb to me. And so it's just like got that power to it.
Did you invent this? I've never heard anyone else say this really in reference to a coin chart.
Curb stomp?
Yeah, curb stomp chart.
Yeah, I think I am. I've never heard anyone else say curb stomp, but I love the idea. I love the name of it.
I think
so
you
much.
invented this thing, man.
Well, I didn't invent the staying. It's a very, very violent act. But
No, I mean I know a curb stomp,
Oh,
but I
okay.
think in reference to
the charts.
it's coins, yeah, or shitters, or whatever. I've never seen anyone say the chart pattern's the curb stomp pattern, but
Yeah.
usually curb stomp seen as like a negative. But you're talking this in reference to all these green charts.
It is. I think it's just so violent. It's such a violent move on the chart. To me, it just like the voice.
You
in
see
back
the
of my head
violence
was
as
like,
positive. You like
Yeah.
you like the violence, man. I like it.
yeah, like the charts are violent sometimes, man, and sometimes they're violent against you. Like you think you have all the time in the world to accumulate hex. Let's say there's going to be a move in hex where people are going to dump. People are planning on dumping at round numbers. Like I make the joke that every hexagon that moved to Puerto Rico is going to sell at 10 cents, and that's only like half a joke. I think some of them will, and so a lot of people are planning on that pullback.
much. If it gets to 10 cents, I am dumping a lot, bro. Like,
See,
there's no way I think it's even going to get to 10 cents. I'd be happy with new all-time high at 4 cents.
yeah, 4 cents was my number that I retired on.
Nice.
Once hex hit 4 cents, I was like, I'm never gonna have to work the rest of my life, and I was wrong about that. So, anyways, I also believed hex would never go below 10 cents again. I was like, no way can it go from 50 cents below 10 again, and I was really, really wrong about that one.
Like, are you saying 10 cent E-hex or 10 cent
E-hex.
Oh my goodness.
This
You
is
think it's
well because there was no p-hex or even talks about p-hex
Oh no, I'm
when I
saying do you
retired.
think it's going to go to 10 cent E-hex or 10 cent P-hex? You think it's going back up?
No. I didn't think it would ever go below 10 cents when we were in our euphoric stage of 50-cent hex.
Yeah.
Like when I
I'm
was
saying
looking
like
at
right
rates-
now, bro. What do you think? What do you think going forward? Do you think we're going to go back up to those highs?
I think we're going to hit $1. I
my
truly
gosh.
believe we're going to hit $1. It
Oh,
might
I
be
love it.
combined, and it might be one of them. But
Wow, that'd be amazing.
Richard Hart has spent the last 5 years as more angry than you can imagine. Like, I can imagine the vinegar and piss running through his veins right now because, how did you feel when that well just fucking exited on you? Like, that's pretty
Horrible,
disrespectful.
yeah.
As a male, it's very disrespectful. And if someone did that to your kid, man, you'd crash out. You'd lose it. You'd lose your temper for sure if someone treated your kid like that. And so knowing that kind of like insult into the soul that Richard has to feel about hex going from 50 cents back to a fraction of a penny, and running my little nibbler bots and realizing, holy shit, I can pull 1 million of a token off the market and no one even knows. No one notices. The price barely moves. It's insane the prices that these bots can average in on. I'm sure he's been just soaking up an insane amount of supply. And then the OA staked and basically took away the APY. So I think, talking about curb stomps, there's going to be a round number that people have in their head, and it'll probably be before 10 cents. But there'll be a number where people are waiting for this price to spike to 3 cents or 5 cents and then fall back down. And one of those times people are expecting it's just going to go past that number to like 2 or 3 more numbers above it.
Oh man.
And it's going
Rage
to,
pump.
I believe there's going to be a curb stomp on hex before 10 cents.
Man, I would love to see it, bro, but I've lost so much faith in this. I don't know.
I know, but like, it's just knowing how I feel about my tokens. I know that he's got to feel the same way. And Richard Hart has a way bigger ego than I do. Life has taught me to like lower my ego and my expectations a lot. It's humbled me, let's say. I don't know if Richard Hart is humbleable. humbleable. I don't know if that's a word, but I
He
don't know.
has all this pulse and PLSX too, and he could send a hex to an unimaginable high number with the pulse by activating some of that non-circulating pulse and just using it to inject the hex price. You could see crazy numbers, but I don't know, man. I just don't. It's been so long he hasn't done it. I don't know that it's going to come.
People that are much smarter than me have gone back and done an autopsy on 50-cent hex. And according to them, the natural market force pushed hex up to about 20, 22 cents. The 20 cents to 50 cents they claim is Richard Hart with a sack of stables just making a point.
Violently pumping it.
Violently pumping and saying, look at what I fucking did. And so knowing that he did that once with a little stack and knowing that he probably controls, 99%, because that's the thing is that you try to be generous, you try to be kind, you try to show people good faith, and you're very, very giving of your tokens in the beginning as a founder because you want to see everyone win. You really do want to you really want to help people. And then you see people dump on you for the dumbest reasons and just without any thought or care. Like, don't get me wrong, some of them might, their car might have broke down, they might be sick, they might get a divorce. I get that stuff. Life happens. But there's also people that just dump ridiculous amounts in one market move without even trying to be gentle or kind or respectful about it. And after a while, you start launching coins like Jackpot. You start putting 1% of supply on the market and then buying it right back and be like, fuck you guys, nobody deserves my coins, right? It's like the little red hen, you guys don't get to eat the bread. Like, this is my bread. You guys prove that you don't respect my bread. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to pump it. And knowing what I can do with a few $100, it just blows my mind that what Richard could do with his violence and to make a point and make everyone feel stupid for selling.
Man, and
disrespecting
if ETH went
this
up,
kid.
It could go crazy, but we are seemingly a long way from these points. I hope it comes though. I'd love to see it.
So Curb's up another $12.
Man,
Since this is stupid, guys. This launched it launched at $2.22. And actually it launched there, but it wouldn't show up on the chart. So of course I make the first tiny buy on all these things so that they'll show up on the chart because they don't show up till the first transaction. And so I accidentally bumped it to 245 on accident with a 50-cent buy or something stupid. And it's ridiculous, man.
the deck screener quotes for the prices are always a little bit off. You don't quite see the all-time low and the all-time high, but this is about 50x from the launch, right?
Yeah. And people, like I said, I had that long conversation about people think that you need really big liquidity to buy something because they think that you have to have big liquidity to sell something, and they're wrong. They're so wrong. Unless you're a whale or a millionaire or you're throwing around 10 G's, 100 G's, none of it matters, dude. None of it. Your liquidity does not affect you, especially if you are smart enough to go put it over on an OTC with a 10% discount. You'll walk away with so much more money by selling it at a price that you choose than pushing the market against you. And so they're like, oh no, it's got liquidity. It's like, yeah, but you don't know when that liquidity is going to get pulled unless you put it there, or unless someone like Proof of No Work or Dr. Doge has burnt it and locked it and proven, hey, this is not, or Pump.Tires, right? You can prove, hey, this liquidity will be there. I don't know what the price is going to be in the future, but this will be there. People that just trust liquidity blindly, it's just like you're listening to the wrong part of your brain. You want to buy stuff that has no damn liquidity. You want to buy stuff that's owned and controlled 99% by someone who has something to prove, right?
Yeah, I mean,
that's
even
what you
more
want
that
to
someone
buy.
that doesn't want to just take it to dump on you. It's someone that's not going to actively be taking that supply and dumping it into the market. Most likely, those are the gems.
Yeah, That's and the rug. Everyone knows who the ruggers are. Everyone, they don't even hide their addresses anymore. Like it's just you look back at the last 19 things that they launched and rug pulled, and you're like, guys, probably shouldn't buy this. Like as soon as you know about it, you're late, right? As soon as someone mentions its name or puts it in a Telegram chat, they are dumping on you. Anyone you hear any advice from, they're dumping on you. And that's why I tell people, don't buy this, because I don't want to be the person that they think is telling them to buy it because I'm dumping it on them. I'm not. So because I'm not dumping on them, I'm telling them not to buy it, which is counterintuitive because, like I said, that the idea of liquidity is completely counterintuitive.
Yeah. Well, these liquidity things kind of play on the human nature. Like banks, when they were really popular, they were really popularized by the concept of people realizing that if humans deposit something like gold, only 10% of them are ever going to show up and pick it up. Yep. So you could just have these same thoughts when you're looking at the liquidity chart. Only 10% of the people are ever going to sell. 90% of the buyers are just going to hold it even through the dark times. And I really, it's kind of against what you're saying here in a little bit, but what I find to be the truth of crypto is the winners are actually the 10% that sell. The people that sell you have to sell to win, and that's kind of like the dark truth of it. And there's not enough for everyone to sell and win. So when you see these big, huge movements on these tokens, especially when they have thin liquidity, it's oftentimes a good time to look for an exit because not everyone's going to be able to exit. And then once they try to exit, like everyone else is going to try to exit too. And then you're going to come to realize, oh, there's a downside to this thin liquidity too. So there's it shows you in real time what the market really feels about a token. And then when they first launch, everyone's super bullish. It seems like they don't know the sky's the limit. It could be anything.
I totally agree, but that goes back to exactly what I was saying before, which is everything's counterintuitive. Everyone was buying 40 and 50 cent hex like crazy.
Yeah.
And everyone was selling sub-penny hex like crazy. So what you're saying is 100% true, and nobody does it. Like you said, no one goes and gets their stuff out of that. No one uses their gym membership. The reason a gym will sell 10 times more memberships than people can fit in their gym is they know that people are going to sleep in and not want to. They're just not going to come work out. That 10%.
No, everybody's not going to show up at once. That's what it is, Like, and even in crypto, they know everyone's not going to show up at once to dump.
Yeah, I'm going to pull the wrap pulse pair here and add it to my watch. Oh wait, yeah. So it's paired with Curve, Pink Mistwell, Darker, and Jack. Those are those, and then this is the one right here. That one's got more liquidity than any of them. By quite a bit. I don't know why Jack and Curve isn't showing up here, but it was showing up on Gecko Terminal.
I think Jack doesn't have a PLS pair. So it when the bots go to say, what did they look for a PLS Jack pair? And there is no Jack PLS pair. So they have trouble estimating what its actual value is, what its actual USD value is. I think that's how DexScreener, why it has that issue.
I don't know how much liquidity you put in here, but it's up 1,000%.
Yeah, it's up. I mean, it's up huge, man. I don't know.
If I take clips of these candles and I just post them on Twitter, everyone thinks that they're just photoshopped, or just zoomed in on one candle.
Well, that's the beauty of the blockchain, man. It's proof of your statement right here. It gets to back up your words in real time.
Yeah.
We can go look at the data.
The very first thing they're going to say is, oh, there's no liquidity. It's like, yeah, damn straight there's no. If there was liquidity, we couldn't make these candles.
Right.
Everyone would cheat out in the first 32 seconds, and we'd be just like all the rest of the trash on crypto right now. So I don't know. You got to do something different to get people's attention, I think. Let's see. Yeah, my X handle is Impressive Bones. Thank you so much. Ready for us to send? Hell yeah. He's here before Pulse Chain, so he's been around a while. On those 10 stakes you have for 33 days, do you have dark you can claim without ending the stakes? No, you don't get anything for 33-day stakes, but better return from the FOMO curve. And here, yeah, he found it. The movie is Miss American History X. which I watched in high school. It traumatized me. I picture every hex I have been $1 one day. I look at hex as $1 too. I do. I honestly just think about it as a future dollar. But then again, what will $1 buy when it hits $1? Cheeseburgers
That's
would
what's
be like
incredible about
$2,000.
If what's really a thing about this community that people don't realize is the world is in like crazy financial. Obviously, people realize the world's in crazy financial straits right now, and there's tons of uncertainty. But say like the U.S. dollar got replaced by something else as a world reserve currency, after that big whole shakeup happens, the Hexicans are still going to want to trade hex. There's still whatever. So no matter what happens, it's almost like a gold type of, whenever there's a system reset or there's ever some type of craziness that happens with financial world, Hexicans are still going to come back to hex. And that's like a crazy feature of this that you never really hear people talk about or appreciate. The people are going to come back to this no matter what it seems like. Look at how dire the straits are, and we're still here building projects and doing stuff like this, man.
Yeah, Jonathan Kapala is echoing what you're saying. He said even the best things with product market fit go down 99%. Hex is coming back.
Oh man, you guys are bullish. I'd love to see it.
Well, I was listening to, was it Tangent was talking about Tangang, how Tangang thought because they had established this cabal, and they had actually, in the beginning, Tangang attracted some of the best talent from Pulse Chain. They brought on some of the best artists and some of the best marketers and some of the best chartists, some of the best liquidity providing specialists. And they thought for a second that they were the secret sauce, right? They overestimated their influence. And so then they bounced around to like 5 or 6 other blockchains, and no one gave a shit who they were or what they talked about, what they brought. They had no influence anywhere else.
Yeah.
And they keep coming back to Pulse and then trying to milk something and going back out somewhere else. And it's like, no, you guys don't get it. You guys were never the sauce. You guys were never the energy. You guys were never the momentum.
I think that they did have some in their own way, but there was no real appreciation for how small or how easy it is to move a small community and small value. You can get a chart up to $1 million on thin liquidity pretty easy.
Yeah, I agree, but some of the OG Tangang members that are still active in Pulse Chain and come up to Pulse Chain spaces, there's no doubt that Tangang actually gave some tools that probably Richard's team should have already have compiled and put on chain. They actually, the 9NM DEX, there's nothing wrong with using it as liquidity providing. One of the key issues though is no one really liked the manual claim for your 9mm rewards. It is now automated. It's better, but they keep changing the reflections, and people get a little bit tired of wondering what the next change is going to mean and how it's going to positively or negatively impact them as liquidity providers for the 9mm protocol. But by and large, I use 9mm all the time. The tech is good. It's just the team doesn't really show up to spaces. It's one of those things where you became Tangang and you drank the Kool-Aid, and if you did anything, if you provide any kind of positive feedback, bug reports, changes, or suggestions, you are automatically, just like OG Hexicans, you're automatically shouted down and silenced. And people just got tired of not having a voice.
They had huge security flaws and problems too along their thing. Remember, their staking contract got hacked, and they claimed that their private keys were compromised, and there was then a proxy contract and all this involved. So there's a lot of mistrust in that community, I think, is the biggest negative about the whole Tangang and 9mm. They have a mistrust in the community forever because of some incidents that went down. And recently, like the changes you're talking about, making the staking automatic instead of having to go to a claim page, I think is a superior idea. And they haven't really rugged anyone since that event that I'm aware of, at least. But it's just like once you do this once, you're really kind of black star in my, like, you're black pilled. I don't really want to mess with you, to be honest. It's a risk. If it happened once, it could happen again. PulseX been superior with that so far, and that's why I really like put the liquidity on PulseX, because most people are on it, most people see it, the most users, most volume, highly trusted, and there's never been any type of rug. Even though 9-inch or 9mm was never technically rugged, their staking contract was, and Dev is, I don't know, doesn't have the best reputation. So I think that's kind of what their issue is. But that's just my thoughts on
it. Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I think a lot of us know it's best to keep to ourselves. We don't want to air our dirty laundry or getting too much into drama. But I've been hanging out with a lot of builders for a long time, and they've taken me under the wing, just like Proof of No Work here, where behind closed doors, they'll tell you stuff like, hey man, don't repeat this, but this is exactly what went down in this project, or this is what went down with these devs. And you're like, what a bunch of assholes. Like, there are some real bad actors that have not helped the community, but you don't hear about it because it doesn't, I mean, unless you're warning someone.
Like
what's
the
that?
ecosystem. Like the Atropa ecosystem.
Yeah, that's an interesting one right there. But yeah, there's a bunch of shady stuff that's going down by people that you would not expect it from. I'll put it that way. And you're just like, ugh. So unless you're warning someone behind closed doors, be like, hey, no, I wouldn't mess with that dude or that project.
Mm-hmm. Now that is an accurate statement, Max. But we remember some of us, even myself, remember you followed this maniac 13-year-old 2 years ago. Some of us want to show up and learn, and we don't want to air dirty laundry. We just want to become educated to make good decisions. And the community, you're only going to go be as successful. You might get absolutely lucky and get a 1,000x on a meme coin. Good for you. Good on you. But if you really want to be a long-term stakeholder and community member, you got to show up, and you've got to talk to different people. You can't just stay in your own pulse chain echo chamber. I know you've accused me of being being kind of, you called me like a whore in church.
Called you a whore.
A fucking pulse chain whore. But remember, some of that was education to see the mindset, so that I can come back to AG Project IO and say, hey, these were factual. You can roll the tape. Here's what was said, and it jarred. It caused me to think. And here's what here is what HT took away from that conversation: the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I hope you see that there's some value in hanging out with all corners of Pulse Chain, because there's a little bit of truth in everything that's said in Spaces. You just got to be able to distill that little tiny nugget of alpha that could actually make a decent project even better.
Yeah, I totally agree. And honestly, I was being funny when I called you a whore. I still think you are a little bit of a whore, but
no, he's definitely a little bit of a whore.
Oh, I'm a big whore. In fact, I'm a cunt. Just look at my coin. I'm definitely the Pulse Chain cunt.
At least he's one of the tightest whores. I'll put it that way. Thanks to his meme token. No, there's a serious value to networking. There are some places that I show up, and they're kind to me and polite to me, but they will not give me the mic, and they will not read any of my comments because they know that I'm the darker matter guy. That's who I am. Just like Johnny Chaos is a Hex guy, right? He's not going to talk about anything, but he doesn't even talk about his own token that he launched. He talks about Hex. And so there's a lot of places where you can come in and they don't see you as a threat. They don't see you as a shiller. They see you as someone who's open-minded and friends with more people. So there's a lot more doors that you can walk into, and you can casually drop, a mention about Dark or Dr. Doge or something that people have no clue about because they're in their own little echo chamber. So you are definitely one of the better networkers and ambassadors, I would say, of Darker Matter. So I really do appreciate you.
Yeah. And I try to always speak positive about the protocol. And I also tell people, this is not red button, green button. This is gamification, and it's complex, but it's complex by nature to keep you interested. You can hold liquid and just speculate on the base asset, or you can go as deep as you want into the game theory.
Yeah, it is as easy as mint and stake and wait back and watch the fireworks. It really is that easy, but it is also as complex as you want it. So I'm trying to give people both options.
You know, when Panos came in on V2.1, he's like, okay, what's the alpha? I was like, oh fuck, here comes Panos, get the fuck out of this. This is not a play. You're not going to get a 3 or 4 or 5x. Panos, I love you, brother. This is not. There is speculation and it has degen aspect to it, but this is not your TG, brother.
Yeah, when Hexiest Man on Earth, Dawn, and I were coming up with the concept of dark matter 4 or 5 years ago, we talked about the idea of like getting all these addicts, all these party addicts, all these drug addicts, you invite them to this huge rave in a warehouse, right? So everyone comes to this rave, they're doing coke, they're doing all the drugs, they're dancing, they're having a wonderful time, they're just degenning out. And then eventually they kind of like fall asleep or whatever. And then when they wake up, they realize that the warehouse is actually a rehab facility, and they're all about to go through detox. And you tricked the addict into a world of recovery, and we tried to make this as attractive to degens as possible with the lottery and the payouts and all this crazy stuff, and trick them into long-term hodling and delayed gratification. So that was our game, our plan. I don't know if we're pulling it off, but
I think there's a market for it. Like I said, some of us, we don't need a 10,000x. We've already chased our losses in our 20s. There's a story that I want to tell right now, but I don't know if we have time, and I don't know if you got to work tomorrow, brother. But it is 9:17. It's 10 o'clock. But there was a time where I lost 3 paychecks back to back, chasing my losses at a local indie casino. Nothing wrong with gambling. Nothing. It was just I had the fever and I didn't have any discipline. But it is nice that you've provided a full gamut from wild ass speculation, holding liquid tokens, holding darker tokens liquid, and dumping on a 2 or 3 or 4x. But you've also built in a little bit of discipline. But I think you're benevolently rewarding the positive discipline behavior that some of us have learned from TradFi, but also understand that the financial systems are going to blockchain. And remember, the whole reason why I got involved in this crazy freaking community in the first place is because I didn't want to wake up 10 years from now and not recognize the financial systems of the world. I wanted to stay relevant to the best of my ability. And I think something as simple as agproject.io gives me the whole gambit of how what cryptocurrency and cryptography has to offer for financial system. And I hope along the way we play a little part in writing the history of creating a better currency.
Yeah, give yourself more credit, man. I mean, if you're able to interact with all this and understand what's going on here, this is high level and complex stuff, really, compared to what else is going on there. So this project, if you're able to understand and engage with it, like you give yourself credit here, because this is complicated stuff.
Yeah, but I've had a lot of mentors in the space. Even Famous has given me hours and hours of his time, teaching me liquidity providing, teaching me it's okay to have a slow play, because he understands I've already made my money. This here is just it's to keep me relevant and I want to be. When my family and friends ask, okay, I'm finally ready to go to Web3. I'm finally ready to dive in to blockchain because I see it's everywhere. I want to be able to be a good instructor as to the ins and outs, and that comes with hanging out with every corner of blockchain, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, I think you're a full blown nerd at this point, man. I think you can explain most of this stuff to people pretty well.
Well, I've always been a nerd. I mean, that's always been second nature. I didn't realize that I could pick up DeFi this quickly. I really didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, and going back to this thing I was telling you guys, it's really hard to find your APR on PulseX. And right here, I was pulling up Curb and looking at the APR that your pair, the Pulse and the Curb, are paying, and it's 270% APR, which is 70% higher than the next one down, which is darker, and the next one down, which is pink as well. It's 83%. It's still having trouble reading the Curb and Jack. It doesn't show anything there. In fact, it doesn't even show any volume there. And maybe there isn't any volume there. Maybe it's just skipping it. But at the same time,
No, it has that. It has volume. It's moving. You could see it on Deck Screener. I'm telling you, I think it's that the problem is that there's no PLS pair, there's no die pair, there's no ETH pair,
nothing regular
readable.
for it to look at.
It's exotic.
But
pair
then you go
exotic.
back to darker, and like I said, I don't hold on to Pulse, and so you look down here. Our Pulse pair is it's embarrassing. It's $30 of liquidity.
Yeah, that's funny.
out of 20K, $30 is with Pulse. But if you look at it, I bet you it's got a crazy APR. Let me see it's getting 170% APR, and it's got almost twice as much volume as liquidity. So I think I've been shooting myself in the foot there by not biting the bullet and buying the most boring ass token on Pulse Chain.
I noticed this before, that you didn't have a large PLS pair, but I didn't realize it was like this.
No, it's
so far
garbage.
down. I thought that it was like maybe number 3 or 4 up here or something like that. This is ranked like 30 or something.
Yeah, and the only reason there's 2K of DAI here is because of the eDAI converter, which, by the way, I mean, if there's anything I could be really proud of in this, is the eDAI that's paid out. The eDAI is paid out 23. Yeah, the eDAI is paid out more eDAI than we have in liquidity total.
Wow.
So $23,000 of eDAI has been paid out to sacrificers.
I watched the intro video that you had on one of these videos that explained this. Some woman AI voice was explaining it. I think if you could go with more stuff like that, with short type of content with visuals, this would be really helpful for this. Advertise or get people to not be overwhelmed when they come here. Because look at all these buttons that you could click here. There's like 30 buttons you could click on this front end right here. Where do I go? What do I do? You know, it'd be nice to just have a little step-by-step, real quick hitter, like a TikTok video for kids, so they could digest it. It's hard to do with all these options here. I don't know.
I need to invest in some Opus clips or something like that. Take the AI videos and cut them into more bite-sized pieces, more digestible pieces for sure. That's been a problem with me since the beginning. Is like, how do you package this? Because like I said, I'm lost in the weeds, man. I'm in the forest. I'm down at the root level of the trees, and people are like, "Well, what?"
But
what
you
color
know
are
the details.
leaves?
You know every detail about this, so it would be ideal, or I mean, easier for you to explain this than anybody else. But you just got a lot of options here. Just look at this front end. Look at all the different buttons. So to try to explain this real quickly is going to be difficult. Try to make like a little 3-second clip here, 4-second clip here, 3-second clip here.
We do have the how to play button right here.
Minters win, stakers win harder.
Yeah, that's as simple as you can get it. But I do like, this is probably the thing I'm proudest about, honestly, is the Charlie on how to play, where he's trying to explain his conspiracy theory. But it's like mint, stake, get paid. That's as simple as I've been able to make it. But it doesn't really, it doesn't stand out on this page or even on the home page screen. Your eye is.
I think the overarching concept is kind of like not as difficult to understand, but then, okay, I get it now. I understand. What do I press? What are the buttons? I think if you just had this number 1, this number 2, people love that type of stuff.
Yeah, and I think mission control is going to be
such a good feature. I love that.
I need to find a way for people to be drawn to mission control and how to play. In fact, maybe I'll just put them right here in the middle of the home screen. Just those two, because there's nothing but a beautiful earth burning up right here into a black hole.
make that like the feature button that you're looking to click with. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
idea. I mean, because everyone knows where to find the connect wallet button. Everyone puts it up in the top right, and then you can play around with these ones. In fact, I might want to categorize these and put them in little groups so they can tell they look a little different than just a ton of things you click. But yeah, I think that's a good idea, is to put mission control and how to play right here. Leave a gap underneath home. Because a bunch of the stuff is in the headers self-explanatory. It's mostly information,
Yeah,
gas
yeah.
price, amount, CA, balance, that kind of stuff's there. And even I even added this hover over to the rounds. So if you hover over the round, it tells you how long the round lasts, and then it tells you when it starts, when it draws, and then if you go back to these other ones, it's actually got the cool piece of art connected to them.
And this is all vibe coded by you.
Yeah. This is
Great job, man.
Thank you very much. That's why I love Fight Club. It's because I feel like I'm
Well,
in
now let me interject
insomnia.
here.
Yeah.
Did Lef help you, give you feedback as to make sure your JavaScript, your Node, your back and front end code were seamless? I have to say, Lef
Yeah.
probably checked your work.
He still checks my work and catches stuff that's not wired correctly. But as far as like the front end like style and stuff, he doesn't like doing that stuff at all. But he's a genius when it comes to Solidity.
I love the front end UI. I do. I really respect the UI.
Yeah, and like I said, I want it just to be seamless. I want anyone to just be able to come here and for it to make sense. And it's hard to do. It's hard to do with so many options. But I think that's a good winning move, is having two giant borders around those two options. Mission control, how to play, home's where everyone's going to look for it, and then these three I could put them into a little group so that they can see they're part of a package.
You want to make it as easy and as simplistic and like universally simple for people to follow. I think that's what would be really useful to this project, is just something that's really quick hitter. Just even the concept of, like I was just saying, for the shitter of having to, as a degen, having to click PLS to darker and then click darker to curb is like too much for literally the majority of users. So by having, if you have just on this page here, this is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what you do. Click the engagement here. This is what you have to do. Here's the mission control. Here's wherever all the other stats are listed. Right at the top, you have this counter going down. Like, it's perfect as it is. I think all you need is just a little bit of simplicity to get the absolute degens who are lazy to be like, oh, this is all I got to do. Make it simple.
Yeah, and actually all of these tiles over here, besides how to play and home, could all be on the second page. None of them have to be on the front page. And home and how to play take you to all of these anyways.
I like that interface, how it's set up, how you have the ability to click right to it like that.
Yeah, No, I like it. It's intuitive and it branches out from left to right. But at the same time, if you're new here, it is too many options at once. Once you start navigating and going through mission control, then you'll be like, okay, now I'm going to go to stake. Now I'm going to go to this. But actually, I think mission control is all, these are all links. So like where it says $9, 9 days, 15 hours. Oh, I'm going to make that a link. So if you click on it, it's going to take you to Mint. Just like the stake button will take you to stake, and claim will take you to stake. And then
even,
the chips
you know
will
what,
take you there.
even you could do too is just on the blocks to the left where it has home, how to play one, you could have like 1, 2, 2A, 2B, 2C or whatever, and then 3, 3A. So then people would kind of know, oh, well, here's the progression of what I could do. That would just help the average degen, I think.
Yeah, I just want to keep making people go check out Charlie. Because I mean, the fact that I put this into Gradient and made it so much a part of this project, I'm so proud of this. Like, I would almost put this over the Exploding Earth. It's very beautiful, But yeah, I could actually just put this right here, these three, boom, 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 on the main page.
I like that.
And then put mission control on the main page. And then once you click into that, then it pulls up all the options on the side. But you don't have to see all these. you can just see these three right here. I'm gonna write this down. Usually I yell at Claude, I'm like, listen, you lazy piece of shit. But I'll do that off screen.
Or you could have it how it's set up right now is the expandable view, and then it has like the 3 dots, so it collapses that side view when you normally go to home. But then if you like click the menu option, it expands it out. You could do it like that as well. You know what I mean?
So it could just say how to play, and when you click on it, it drops the 3 down.
I'm saying like if you go back to the main homepage before, or how you had it set up where you were seeing all the different options expanded, you could just make that like a menu.
Oh,
and
this
just,
right here.
Yeah, you can just have.
Oh, so this collapsed, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't on someone's mental load when they went here.
Yeah, you could, and you could just have like the standard little icon there to expand it, whatever. It's like the 3 slashes or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, so it could collapse down and then over.
And then you could just collapse, and then at any point on any page, if you want to, you can just open it to look at.
Oh, yeah. So like when I click on Mint, or sorry, that's a bad example because that just takes you to Mint. If I click on Stay, or let's say Get Paid, right? Get Paid has this accordion come out with the see the arrow right here where I can put it back.
Right. Do that same thing there.
I'll just do the same thing right here and then leave Home out. And
is it already available? Oh, never mind. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean I just got to tell Claude to do it. Just add another arrow to collapse this, leave Home there, and then maybe put how to play, and how to play.
How to play on the homepage. I think you can just leave it. Yeah, leave it as it is, man. But then just you could have that how to play menu on the homepage. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So Max, I just saw my poker chips. That was cool. Did you push that while we were streaming, or
at the beginning of the stream? Someone's like, I can't. It was CryptoCat. He's like, where are these? Like I've claimed them. I can see them on blockchain, but I can't visually see them anywhere.
Yeah, that's cool.
I had to do that.
Yeah, I like
those
that.
Are badges right there. Thanks. Yeah. So, maybe Mission Control needs its own space, so it's not stuck in this group and lost.
And by the way, thanks to the community, and thanks for building tokenomics and tax structures that are benefit, I have another $2 of eDai in passive income since we've been streaming. I'm actually making money while I'm becoming famous or infamous.
That's beautiful. It's this dopamine drip. If you expect people to put 5 or 10 hours a week into your project or into crypto, you've got to give them a little dopamine hit, just a tiny dopamine hit that says it's worth going to this page, like SwitchX, right? Or Emit Farms. You go there for that little dopamine drip every day.
All right, Max. What time do you got to be up in the morning?
I don't know, like 6 maybe.
Yeah, but it's 11. It's 11 almost, maybe.
Yeah, I can't sleep more than 4 or 5 hours a night without like some help.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
That's just where I'm at right now. There's too much to be done. There's too much of life to live and too much crypto to build.
Are the Chitlins back in school yet, or not until a little bit later?
Yeah, they just went back this last week, and so
oh,
they're back
thank
in
God.
School.
As much as public education fails our kids, thank God. Yeah, my wife went back to work today.
So now you just got the house to yourself. Just kidding. No, I know you're out there doing some high level stuff for the area that you live in, and chances are there would just be like things melting into the ground if you weren't out there checking on them. So
it's funny that you said. It's funny that you said this because I had two inspections at the same house. Okay, I don't want to become I believe that we should do better with our environment. I believe we should be good steward. But I also believe the government out in the 9 western states, specifically the left coast, the West Coast, we have kicked our loggers out. We have not maintained and cleaned up our forest. We have not harvested our timber. Okay, that's my end of rant. But we've had the fires in Spokane and we've lost over 900 homes and structures. But this poor lady is putting a ton of money, and she probably has the funds to do it. But she's renovating 1925 or 1930 Victorian tri-level home with a full basement. It used to have a beautiful modern gas boiler. It used to have gas hot water tanks. It used to have gas cooktops. And because she lives in a area where she believes gas is going to kill us, she decided to rip all of that shit out and go all electric. So the poor electrician today, I had to say, you've got about 230 amps on this panel and about 300 amps on this panel. What are you going to do? Because I will not let you melt these wires down. And he goes, I tried to tell this chick not to rip all this shit out. I mean, the electric boilers are like 25,000 kW, 2,500 kW a piece. And then these instant electric hot water tanks are like 80 amps a piece, and she's got 3 of them. And the old load on this house when it was gas appliances was probably 200 amps. Now she's got like a 600 amp service.
That's insane.
But she feels good. But she feels good.
Well, and the thing is, like, fires are started by electricity as well as gas, right? Like, so, I mean, obviously, if
No.
but...
You got to understand. You got to understand how bad the socialist state of Washington is. But I'm not going to go there. But the fires in Spokane, at least 3 of them were set by the same arsonist, and they had caught this guy 3 times before. Setting fires that luckily did not have the wind condition. This person specifically waited for the dry tinder, the hottest days of the year with the highest potential of wind, and set 3 fires and has destroyed over almost 1,000, but about 700 homes and about 300 outbuildings just to get his rocks off.
I would bet you that this guy thinks he works for the Coconut Intelligence Agency. This sounds like some government.
He was probably radicalized by a 3-letter agency for this exact moment in time to do the most effective damage, because we're right now adapting we're adopting the Washington Energy Code, and 3/4 of the people we have to do climate. See, these fires are out of control, but they won't go to the root cause that we kicked loggers out in 1980 with the spotted owl, and we haven't went and cleaned up the undergrowth. They won't say that. They just say, oh, it's got to be climate change. And then the 25% of us normies that want to do the right thing, but no, it's going to take more than 10 years to be carbon zero. And again, I'm all about, I have electric vehicle. I have 2 electric vehicles. I love electric vehicles. Just don't shove it down my throat. But only about 25% of us say, hey, we want to get there. We can get there, but we are trying to get there so fast that no one can afford these buildings. And because Spokane is like 25 minutes away from Idaho, most of these families that lost their homes, they're going to Idaho because they can't afford to build. They already know.
Yeah.
They're telling the insurance companies, sell the lot, take your cut, give me what you can. I'm starting again in Idaho.
The funny thing is, you remember people in Oregon and Washington have been cussing the Californias for decades for coming up and ruining their housing prices, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now they're literally doing the same thing to Idaho.
Yes, exactly. But Idaho's fighting back. Luckily, Idahoans there's so many different rural areas adjacent to well-developed planned communities that you still have a choice of where you live. You can choose to live in a planned California planned neighborhood and spend 3 times the money you want and have a HOA that tells you everything you can and can't do, or you can say, fuck it, I'm going out to the county and I'm going to develop 5 acres.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like I said, I'm all about being a good steward. I think agproject.io is about good stewardship. Just don't force it down our throat, and don't say the science, which is religion. Don't say the science has settled it. and then when an inconvenient truth comes about, you totally decide that your ideology is the only right answer. Like I said, I'm all about. I want to save this planet from my little Jacks and other babies being born, but there is a balance between government mandates and what is really best for the market.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna. It says I go wherever freedom goes. Says Jonathan Kampala. Yeah, I'm so sorry,
Amen.
Hexy and your community are being affected by these fires. I'm in Pennsylvania, and even our air quality is being affected by them.
It's all good, brother. We got them all mostly under control. It's just the fact that kicking loggers out and basically not cleaning up the fuels and whatnot is really the 40-year the 40-year major contribution to these wildfires. And then you throw a pyromaniac that's radicalized and has no empathy for the families he has displaced. It's just it's a double-edged sword. If you have freedom, you also are going to have social issues.
All right, I'm going to let you give people our closing message, and then I'm going to turn on some. Well, I'm going to drop YouTube, and I'm going to turn on some copyright music, and I'm going to vibe code a couple of those things we just talked about because I won't be able to sleep until it's done.
Yeah, very good. Just short and sweet. You matter, Max. I matter. Everybody in the chat, everybody part of this community. Even if you're not part of the community yet, and you come across this crazy YouTube archive or X archive in the next 3 or 4 years, I think it's providential myself that you even become aware that there's a group of people that actually cherish the human spirit.
Thank you very much, and thank you, G Fire, for stopping by. Thank you. Proof of work is always welcome. I think if the bull market kicks off enough for me to take days off work, I'd love to bring back Tech Talk, where we have all the developers, all the builders coming together, and we had some of the most glorious streams back in the day talking about everything going on. So he's always welcome on here. And yeah, you're always welcome on here too, HT. We need a whore from time to time to spruce up the party.
Yes.
And just kidding.
I'm here.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna play some music. Go out. Replay gang, great to see you as always. Jonathan and Paula, we love you. My brother from another mother. I think Max is right. Some not alias, either government corp. Yeah. That's what conspiracy theories are. They're just something that turns out to be true in 2 years. So, anyways, we appreciate everyone here, and you don't have enough darker. When I say that, it's not a dumb slogan.
I don't have near enough darker. When am I going to be able to claim? When am I going to be able to claim for being a good boy? I still want to mint those.
And I didn't know that Proof was in the green room. I didn't mean to kick. Oh, I know why I kicked him. It's because I brought on the other machine. But
no, you didn't kick me, bro. I just got booted or something. I don't know. Maybe StreamYard disconnected me. I think my internet went out.
Yeah, well, tell people where they can follow you and get your token. And you got your own Telegram, which is I can never keep up with all the stuff going in your Telegram, man. It is crazy. You got some very cool people and some smart people going and conversations going on there. So yeah, tell people where they can find you and follow you.
Yeah, thanks, man. My Telegram is t.me/proof of no work. I also have a shill room for Paul's Chain, the shitcoin shill room, t.me/shitcoin shill room. And you could find me on X at proof of no work Paul's Chain, at proof of no work Paul's Chain. Thanks for the plug, man.
You bet. And if we're lucky, we'll have some more meetups in the bull market. We can hang out and chat in person. It'd be great to do a go night. We know we'll probably have some meetups in the Northwest. So wherever you're at, we'll be traveling. If the money comes back, we'll definitely be going around to the meetups because they're so much fun. Anyways, love you guys. Have a great night, and we will catch you on the next one. Replay gang, enjoy your drive to work tomorrow. We're here for you, and yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Peace. Thank you.
There we go. We've removed YouTube.